So just one.
Right.
And if we just tie that, we have a beautiful little sachet, and this prevents the little seeds from floating around in our pickling solution, disturbing the look of it, and also that way it won't get into Grandma's teeth.
That's not very pretty, is it? Okay, then drop that in.
Once the spices have been added, turn off the heat and let it steep for 30 minutes. Now we're ready for the secondary seasoning, which puts another layer of flavor into the pickle.
All right.
Our hot chilies, a clove of smashed garlic.
And it has to be smashed.
Yeah, that releases the essential oils inside the garlic.
Okay.
A little bit of fresh dill from the garden.
All righty.
Some beautiful flavor and color, and some fresh lemon rind, which I find really softens up that vinegar taste.
Okay. What's next?
Now we're ready to load and go.
Ooh, I like that.
Be sure to cut the vegetables to the size of the jar. And it's okay to mix harder root vegetables like carrots with the softer textured asparagus or beans. And most importantly,
make sure you eat as you go.
It's the best part.
Do we want to pack these in?
Yes, you do. You want to get them as tight as you can without ruining the vegetable, because you know, once they pickle, they are cooking and they will shrink.
Okay.
as you finish packing your vegetables, Andrew suggests giving the jar a little shake to fit in as much as possible. And don't forget to add some slices of red pepper for color and zip.
Okay, now we're done here.
We're ready to add our pickling solution.
Make sure the liquid is room temperature when you pour it into the jars. And if you pickle with beets, don't mix them with other vegetables because they'll turn purple.
So that liquid comes to a ½ inch of the top, and then you just tighten down the lids just until resistance is met. You want it firm, but of course, it's going to expand in the hot water. You don't want to blow a gasket.
So that's why we bring it ½ inch down.
Exactly.
Okay, now we give it a bath.
That's
in hot water.
Into the water bath.
How long?
Carrots, other root vegetables, 5 to 7 minutes in the hot water. Soft vegetables like green beans, just 2 or 3 minutes. And if you're mixing and matching, try and go in between.
Oh, these turned out beautiful. A little hot to the touch, so we can't eat them now. How long do we have to wait?
Well, ideally, cool them at room temperature, 16 to 24 hours. That creates the vacuum seal that'll keep them shelf stable for a long, long time.
Great. And if you're going to make these as gifts, you can get a little creative, putting paper over the top, raffia. And these are adorable. And remember, when you open these up, you want to hear this.
The pop of freshness.
That means these are ready to be eaten. For Andrew's easy pickling recipe, make sure to check out my website at www.rebeccasgarden.com.
Attention all bargain hunters. I've got the best kept secret for saving big bucks on plants for your garden. And fall is the time to think green for next spring. Fall fertilizing is up next. You can garden anytime when you visit my website at www.rebeccasgarden.com. You'll find new features every week, great recipes, and how-to projects with easy step-by-step instructions. So dig in anytime to share favorite gardening tips or see previews of next week's show. So come on, check it out. It's guaranteed to grow on you.
This is indeed a small miracle, a triumph over everyday arthritis pain, made possible by a remarkable medicine. Tylenol Arthritis Extended Relief. So effective even the newest arthritis prescription hasn't been proven to work better. And stomach safety no other brand of pain reliever can surpass. Miracle drug? Someone sure thinks so. Tylenol Arthritis. Take comfort in our strength.
Most daily shower cleaners leave oily-looking residue on chrome. But Shower Shine leaves nothing but shine. Use your head and get Shower Shine from the scrubbing bubbles. They work hard after every shower, so you don't have to.
There are those among us with very simple tastes. They only want the best. And for them, there's Fancy Feast gourmet cat food. Exceptionally moist and delicious. Fancy Feast. Good taste is easy to recognize.
Oh, yes, TV is the thing this year. TV is the thing this year. If you want to have fun, come home with me. You can stay all night and play with my TV. TV is the thing this year. Oh, yes. Trying to tell you, TV is the thing this year.
ABC7 is the thing this year.
Baby.
We
brought you Dodge Ram. Overall, the most powerful line of pickups on the planet, the longest lasting pickup on the road, and the first pickup with 4 doors. Now, here's what's new from the new Dodge. The Dodge Summer Clearance with $1,000 cash allowance. Exceptionally low 1.9 financing. Or great lease rates. What's new from the new Dodge? Just catch the Dodge Summer Clearance.
You're watching ABC 7, New York.
Rebecca's Garden brought to you by the Home Depot, where low prices are just the beginning.
One of the best kept secrets at the garden center is shopping in the fall. With winter quickly approaching, the last thing garden centers want to do is try to find a place for all this plant product. So they'll mark it down, sometimes 50% or more, leaving you with some great deals as long as you know what to look for. When it comes to perennials, any of the plants in containers will transplant beautifully in the fall. And don't worry so much about the top growth. If it's a little ratty, that's okay. It's really the root system that is important for fall planting. Stay away from any plant that has brown, mushy roots. They should be creamy white and plump. This is going to be a great plant for the fall. Now you can go ahead and plant it as long as the ground is workable. But once the ground freezes, it's very important that you add a thick layer of mulch to protect the plant through the winter. Now when it comes to shrubs, the rules are a little different. First of all, with deciduous shrubs, those are the ones that lose their leaves, they can be planted as long as the ground is workable. But with evergreens, however, if you live in a colder climate, they must be planted before October 15th, otherwise they may not survive winter. Trees are also a great bargain for the fall. Just make sure you get them planted while the ground is workable, and it's real important to wrap the bark of the tree to protect it from the winter sun. Also, with the trees and shrubs, make sure you keep them watered thoroughly up until the first hard freeze. Well, there you go. Some great tips on some good garden deals. If you want a great-looking lawn next year, fertilizing should be on the top of your fall checklist. In fact, if you fertilize once a year, now is the time to do it, especially if you live in the northern two-thirds of the country. The latest research from the University of Minnesota shows that 2 applications of fertilizer in the fall will make a huge difference to your lawn next year. So what fall fertilizer do you select? Well, the key is in the numbers, especially the first number. This is the nitrogen content. Now take a look at the difference here. This one says 18, while this one says 31. Now remember that nitrogen promotes top growth. So in the spring, naturally, we would want a big number. But in the fall, we don't want to promote a lot of top growth. So when you're out searching for fertilizer, look at the bag, get the bag that has the lowest first number. Now, as far as the other numbers are concerned, the middle number is phosphorus. Grasses really don't need phosphorus, and phosphorus has been known to pollute our lakes and streams. So pick the lowest number possible. The third number is for potassium. That's going to vary with each bag. That's good for root structure and development. Now, once you've selected your fertilizer, you need something to apply it with. Now, I've had all the gadgets, but the one I like best is called the drop spreader. It looks like this. It has a bin where the fertilizer goes, then it drops it below. I like it this way because, first of all, the fertilizer doesn't become airborne, and it spreads it out nice and evenly. Now, if you're buying your first drop spreader, or in my case, the second, don't make the mistake I did. Start out with plastic. I bought a metal one. It ended up rusting. I couldn't get fertilizer to come out of it, so it had to be replaced. Now we've got the drop spreader. We're ready to fill her up. Now the next step is to find the right setting for your drop spreader. If you look on the back of your fertilizer bag, there's going to be a chart. What you need to do is first figure out what kind of spreader you have and then look it up. I've got a Scott spreader. We go down here, it tells me to set my spreader at 5.5. But listen up, I've got a great tip here. Instead of setting it at 5.5, I'm going to cut that in half and set my spreader at 2 3/4. Now the reason I do this is because I'm not going to go over my lawn once, but twice. I know it's a little more work, but it's well worth it. I'll go once vertically and then horizontally, kind of like a checkerboard. This way the rows overlap, which reduces the chance of getting any kind of striping. It's best to fertilize your grass when it's a little bit taller and wet. That way the tire marks and fertilizer show up better, so you know where you've been and where you're going. Now be sure to water your lawn once you've fertilized it. This way the fertilizer will get directed right down to the root zone and get to work so that hopefully next spring you'll have a luscious looking lawn. Next, tiptoe through the tulip fields of Holland and find out why snipping these beautiful blooms at their peak means bigger bulbs for us. And later, learn how to plant a piece of Holland in your own backyard.
Final boarding call. All passengers, gate 10. Don't be late. Call 540-WAKE for a reliable wake-up call. Just $2. When you can't be late, you gotta call WAKE. That's 540-WAKE. Call now.
The celebration was tremendous. A new world had been discovered.
We all have stories to tell about growing up in the tri-state area. Eyewitness News is looking for Eyewitness to the Century. If you or a relative has an historical story or experience to share, email us at www.7online.com or send a letter to Eyewitness to the Century, Ansonia Station, P.O. Box 234041, New York, New York 10082. We look forward to telling your story.
Elizabeth Machado said, "Goodbye, acne."
Thank you, Dr. Zismore.
Bernice Palmer said, "No more dark spots."
Thanks, Dr. Zismore.
Now you can have beautiful, clear skin. I'm Dr. Zismore, and I can help you look your best. My office provides great skin care at a fair price. Call me for an appointment at 212-594-SKIN, and you can start on the road to beautiful, clear skin now.
Joan Getz said, "Hello, beautiful, clear skin."
Thank you, Dr. Zismore.
Call 212-594-SKIN for an appointment.
Do you know anyone with Parkinson's disease? Well, you do now. I'm Michael J. Fox. Please join the Parkinson's Unity Walk in Central Park. Every dollar raised will go to research for a cure. I'm not the first person to have Parkinson's, but with your support, I hope to be one of the last. And that's not just spin. Walk the walk, Parkinson's Unity Walk, Sunday, September 26th. Call 212-580-6505. So it's settled. You'll be there. Don't make me get the mayor.
Like my beloved mother, Elizabeth, you could be one of 16 million Americans who have diabetes. Help fight this terrible disease by participating in America's Walk for Diabetes. Come raise awareness and funds crucial for diabetes research, education, and advocacy. Together, we can make every step count.
America's Walk for Diabetes takes place on Sunday, October 3rd at Riverside Park. To register, call 1-800-254-WALK or sign up online at www.diabetes.org.
In other news, George Taylor was expected to be promoted today at cryogenics. Mr. Taylor failed to show. Company officials are concerned. He should have called 540-WAKE at just $2 for a reliable wake-up call. When you can't be late, you gotta call WAKE. 540-WAKE.
For more great gardening information, be sure to check out my website at www.rebeccasgarden.com.
You know, when you think of Holland, you think of tulips. After all, this is the tulip capital of the world. In fact, 95% of all the tulips grown in the United States come from huge fields like this one here. Today we're going to meet a man, William Vink, who's been growing tulips his whole life. He's going to show us what it takes to get these bulbs into our backyard.
Tulips in Holland are like corn in Iowa. Everywhere you go, tulip fields carpet the landscape in all colors of the rainbow. It's tulip growers like William Vink who are responsible for producing these beautiful fields of bloom. On his 80-acre farm, he plants over 20 million bulbs every year.
So, William, what is it about Holland that makes this the perfect place to grow tulips?
Well, this place is below sea level. There used to be water all around here. When the water left, there was a perfect seabed, sandbed left for the tulips.
So the soil here...
The soil is perfect for the bulbs.
Yeah, very sandy.
It's very sandy, and it's very good for the tulips to grow on.
Mm-hmm. What kind of tips can you give Americans when they're planting their tulips in the backyard?
First, make sure you have the best tulips you can find. Because
which come from you, of course.
I hope so, I hope so. But that's very important because when you want to have a good flower, you have to start with a good bulb.
Mm-hmm.
Then don't plant them too early, but around a week or 4 weeks before the winter gets in.
Before winter, okay.
Gets in, and then you plant them a fist deep.
Fist deep?
face deep.
Oh, good. That's important to know. So when do you plant your bulbs here in Holland?
In Holland we plant the bulbs in the fall. That's the best time for it.
Same time every year?
Same time every year.
Now, this row here, you were telling me you have 25,000 bulbs just in this row. Not to
Yes.
mention the millions else. You possibly can't do this by hand.
No, of course not. We have a machine for that. It is just like 5 legs who are going through the soil, and from top of it we throw the bulbs in. And it takes about 10 minutes to plant a row like this.
Can I borrow that machine?
Everything is possible, Rebecca. Everything.
Well, since William didn't have the planting machine around, he let me climb aboard this amazing machine. As you can see, it snips off the blooms, leaving behind nothing but green foliage.
Well, William, in America, we love to see the tulips nice and open, but you're cutting their heads off. Why do you do that?
I can imagine that you have a question about it. Well, we're cutting their heads off because we want to have big bulbs. And the bulb, the flower, is getting all the food for the bulb. And that's why we're picking them off.
So if you cut their heads off, the energy is sent down to the bulb.
Yes.
And that's important for you because that's what you're doing.
That's what we are doing.
Now you'll notice that the machine missed some of the flowers. Well, that's where automation ends and hand picking begins. While we call this deadheading, the Dutch have another term for it.
Koppen.
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 Okay.
We have the kop off.
Out in the fields, kids of all ages help out with this job, including William's son, Tone.
You better go faster. Faster. Because I'm going to stay on top of you. Go, Tone. So what is harvest time like for you?
Harvest time is the most beautiful time of the year.
Oh yeah, I bet for you. Ching, 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 ching.
Ching, ching, ching. And then it's the summer. Always good weather. When you're harvesting your product, there are a lot of people around helping because all the bulbs need to be cleaned.
And once the bulbs are cleaned, they have to be graded, counted, and packaged so they can be shipped off to gardeners all over the world in time for fall planting.
Now every year I like to incorporate a new bulb into my flower garden. But this is one I haven't seen. That's because this is not being grown anywhere in the world right now.
That's correct, Rebecca. This one is a new variety and it's only grown by me.
Only grown by you. How in the world did you get this one?
This one is a mutation of the white one we saw earlier today. It took me more than 20 years to get it from one bulb that I found.
You must have started when you were 6 years old.
No, almost. To this amount that we can show you this day.
It's beautiful. Now, what's the name of this bulb? Have you named it yet?
Yes, we have named it. It's Flaming Purissima, and it's an emperor type.
This is going to be available to the United States this fall.
This fall, it would be available in the United States only.
Only?
Yes, not in Holland, not even anywhere else, only in the United States.
What are the chances that maybe I could dig up a few bulbs and take them home with me?
They are very small, Rebecca, but I can give you a nice flower.
I'll tell you, this is not bad.
Coming up, now that you know how bulbs are grown in Holland, it's your turn to dig in. Tips on planting bulbs up next.
This is my final plea. I am a gecko, not to be confused with Geico, which could save you hundreds on car insurance. So stop calling me.
Geico. A 15-minute call could save you 15% or more on car insurance. At Geico Auto Insurance, we handle your claim quickly, so you don't have to bum a ride to work. Geico. A 15-minute call could save you 15% or more on car insurance.
When it's time to clean your outside windows, does the job seem this big? Next time, try Windex Outdoor. Its concentrated formula and sheeting action dissolve tough grime to get windows clean. Windex Outdoor. A beautiful shine, a lot less time.
Labor of love took on a whole new meaning when Kyle was born. 12 hours of labor.
One of life's most joyful moments can also be one of its most painful. But take comfort, as so many women have, in Tylenol, the pain reliever doctors and hospitals choose most.
Come meet your little brother.
Hello. Tylenol, take comfort in our strength.
If you could change the look of your floor right now, how would you do it?
New carpet? A different texture? Different color? How about a Saxony or a cable? Maybe even go with hardwoods or a laminate. With thousands of flooring options in countless styles and colors. If you can dream it, you can do it at the Home Depot, where low prices are just the beginning.
Mommy, can you refill that Glade plug-in, please?
For lasting freshness, don't forget to refill your Glade plug-ins.
Plug it in, plug it in.
For Dan and Lisa, it just clicked. So they loaded up their Ford Expedition and got back to doing what they loved. Answering the call of the wild.
I lost them.
And they unleashed a beast of their own. That big 5.4-liter Triton V8.
Gotcha.
And you thought Little Red Riding Hood got a close look. Ford Expedition. Built Ford tough.
Rebecca's Garden, brought to you by Ford, maker of vehicles that are built to last.
Well, as you can tell, we're getting ready to bury some bulbs here in Rebecca's Garden. And before you get planting, there are really 3 basic bulb rules you need to know. First of all, for best blooms, plant them in full sunshine with well-drained soil. And if you want spring beauty, you've got to plant them in the fall. One thing I learned when I visited Holland, it's much better to plant a mass of blooming bulbs rather than scattering a bulb here and there. And also group colors and varieties together for the most dramatic display. As you can see, I've dug a trench out in front of this shrub border. I figured this would make a great backdrop for the splash of color I'm going to get next spring. The trench is about 6 inches deep, which will accommodate the size of bulbs I have, but it's important for you to read the directions on your package so you know the bulb goes down at right depth. The next thing you need to do is sprinkle some bulb food on the top of the soil. Now with the tulips, go ahead and pack them in, spacing them about 2 to 3 inches apart, and make sure the points are looking up at you. Now, as you can see, I packed in about 150 bulbs. This variety is called Pink Impression. It's a mid to late spring bloomer, so you can only imagine what it's going to look like next spring. The final step, you need to go ahead and cover the bulbs with soil, water them well, and then hold off on the mulch. Once the ground freezes solid, you'll want to come in and apply a thick layer of mulch, and then next spring, you and your garden will be looking good. Now, before you rush out to plant those bulbs, remember that fall is an excellent time to fertilize your lawn. Choose a fertilizer low in nitrogen because we don't want to promote a lot of top growth in the fall. And keep in mind that if you apply the fertilizer in a crisscross pattern, it will spread it evenly and will also help prevent striping. And be sure to water your lawn once you've fertilized it. This will help direct the fertilizer right down to the root zone. And if you're going to pickle your produce, it's best to do so 24 hours after harvesting. For Andrew Zimmern's easy pickling recipe, go to the recipe section of my website at www.rebeccasgarden.com. And remember, don't forget to check out the Garden Center for some great garden bargains. I'm Rebecca Coles. Until next time, you keep those hands dirty. Tucker and I have some shopping to do. Come on, Tucker.
Rebecca's Garden, brought to you by the Home Depot, where low prices are just the beginning.
On the next Rebecca's Garden, we're on the road to Sonoma County to visit a garlic growing guru. Now's the time to plant it, and one of the world's leading experts will show us how. Then, if you love spring bulbs but don't have a garden, why not plant a potted paradise? Plus, it's time to get those hands clean. We're making herbal soap next time on Rebecca's Garden.
Urinary pain isn't going to stop you today. Urostat, from the makers of Maddest, relieves urinary pain until you can see your doctor.
The best way to improve your soil is to add Canadian peat moss. For lawn, garden, and transplanting trees, look for Lambert and Premier at your local garden center.
America Online makes it easy to plan your summer. Vacations,
Movies and more.
This summer, keep in touch with friends and family. America Online, so easy to use, no wonder it's #1. Sign up today.
Sundown Herbals presents its new Twist and Learn label. It gives you information that helps take the mystery out of taking herbs. Sundown Herbals, where to turn for help.
For northern-grown hardy plants, look for the Gardener's Pallet Picture Tags. The pallet-shaped tag is your assurance of top quality. Gardener's Pallet plants available at better garden centers.
For more great gardening information, be sure to check out my website at www.rebeccasgarden.com.
Ronnie, what's your deal? What are you talking about? All summer long, we've been total roller coaster faces. Breaking out for a week, clear for a week. We've been totally flawless. I wouldn't go that far, but I have been using this every day. Really?
New Stay Clear from Clearasil, an acne wash that keeps working even after you rinse.
I know you've been holding out on us.
One of these days, you just might need us.
New Stay Clear from Clearasil. Stay clear or don't. It's up to you.
Just order the potato skins and I'll slap them right on my thighs. It's not like I'm gonna meet Mr. Right tonight anyway.
Speaking of which,
What?
I met someone.
You didn't.
I did. She's successful, smart, cute, and she likes cartoons even more than I do. You would hate her.
Not another blind date.
No, I called telepersonals.
Telepersonals? You mean you met her over the phone?
Don't look at me like that. It's a great way to meet people. You should try it.
Oh, like I haven't met enough losers already.
Hey, telepersonals isn't for losers. It's for people like you and me. Busy people who are tired of the whole bar scene. A lot of great people call. And so should you. You'd be surprised at who you could meet.
Who will you find on telepersonals? Call and listen. Thousands of people in your area are calling 24 hours a day. Call now and browse online voice messages absolutely free, with no hassles or obligation.
Give telepersonals a try. Call one of the numbers on your screen right now and use secret code 600. Call now. It's absolutely free.
I won the bet. Will Roseanne pay up? Next, Oprah.
Next on Channel 7. Join us for the latest national and international news on World News Now, which is already in progress.
Countless mornings at the lake. This race could be our big break. Just love that mountain grown groove. Now I'll leave my crew in memory row as one, racing towards the rising sun. The best part waking up is Folgers in your cup.
The Atlanta Braves have now won 10 games in a row. They beat the St. Louis Cardinals 4-3 last night. That moves them 3.5 games over the New York Mets for first place in the National League East. Chipper Jones crushed the game-winning home run with 1 out in the 12th inning to give Atlanta the victory. The Braves' winning streak is their longest since they won 13 straight in 1992. The Miami Hurricanes knocked off the Ohio State Buckeyes in yesterday's kickoff classic. In Miami's first drive, running back James Jackson was a steam locomotive running down the track. Nothing was going to bring him back. He went 44 yards for the score. Into the second quarter, Hurricanes QB Kenny Kelly went deep to Santana. Don't call me Carlos Moss. Moss had 3 catches for 115 yards and a touchdown. The Hurricanes blew over the Buckeyes 23-12. Tiger Woods won the NEC Invitational yesterday under pressure. He hit this awesome 20-foot birdie on the 17th hole to secure a 1-stroke win over Phil Mickelson. Woods took home the $1 million prize. And former New York Jets defensive back Mark Gastineau is in trouble with the law again. Gastineau was arrested yesterday and charged with second-degree assault for burning his girlfriend with a cigarette lighter. Now a look at the rest of the day's scores.
Summer in the city, black on my neck, getting dirt and gritty. Been down, isn't it a pity? Doesn't seem to be a shadow in the city. All around the people looking half dead, walking on the sidewalk. dance all night. Just by the heat, it'll be alright. Babe, don't you know it's a pity the days can't be like the nights in the summer, in the city, in the summer, in the city. Cool town, even in the city, dressed so fine, look so pretty. You can't look for a kitty, gonna look at every corner of the city. Till I wheeze like a bus stop, running upstairs, gonna meet you on the rooftop. But at night it's a different world. Go out and find a girl. Come on and dance all night.
So Lisa is living in Los Angeles right now, but she brought her props for the sports segment, or sunflower seeds, but she's actually a Penn State Nittany Lion.
And Penn State did what?
You tell me.
Crushed Arizona yesterday. Crushed.
You're not at all biased in this.
Oh, yeah, you'll find out. You'll
Great.
find out.
That's sports for this half hour.
When we come back, a primer on the best back-to-school stuff around.
ABC's World News Now will continue after this from our ABC stations.
We're everywhere that matters. Where news happens and life is on the line. Channel 7 Eyewitness News. We're everywhere. Every second, every day. From the halls of power to streets of gold. From the fields of heroes to the skies above. We're everywhere you need us to be. That's why Eyewitness News is #1. From the heart of the city to towns all around. We're there first with the best for you. Everywhere. This is Eyewitness News.
Here's a look at some stories we're following this morning. Hurricane Dennis may be gaining strength as it moves along the North Carolina coast, but forecasters expect the worst of the storm to stay out at sea. Still, a state of emergency has been declared. Israeli and Palestinian negotiators met late into the night to try to reach an agreement on West Bank land handovers. Israeli Prime Minister Ehud Barak warns that failure to close a deal may prompt him to carry out the latest peace accord on his own terms. U.S. Ambassador to the UN Richard Holbrooke has met with rival leaders and UN officials in Kosovo. He stressed the need to work toward a multi-ethnic and democratic society there.
Ah, yes. It's a beautiful time of year, late summer. The air is beginning to cool ever so slightly. There's a hint of autumn in the breeze. And in the distance, you can sometimes hear the sounds of celebration. That would be the sound of parents rejoicing as their kids return to school. We're going to be celebrating this joyous occasion on World News Now for the next 5 days. Here to help us kick off our back-to-school week is ABC gadget guy Dick DeBartolo, and he's got some of the best back-to-school stuff. So more things for parents to spend money on.
That's right. But you get them out of the house, so it's a worthwhile investment. You know, we used to have lunch boxes. Now we have lunch carriers, okay? This line is from Arctic Zone. Actually, it's really neat stuff. This little Arctic Zone guy has a little compartment at the bottom where you put fresh fruit or a can of soda, and it won't get crushed. Sandwiches go in the top. This little guy has a separate compartment for the sandwiches. Little ice pack. So you put that in the freezer. It keeps it cool. This side gets the soda. This one, sandwiches there. A little water bottle on the side. Really neat stuff. Even a little sandwich carrier here. Crush-proof interior. Again, this goes in the refrigerator. Only $7 to $14. So some neat stuff from Arctic Zone. I'm actually going to put those on the floor.
Now, those are almost more for the parents, don't you think? For them, peace of mind that they have that kind of thing for their kids.
The kids are going to eat good stuff.
Right.
If you still need a lunch box, Pokemon is very big. This is from Thermos. The Pokemon logo on the outside, Thermos on the inside. This is very high-tech. Very high-tech. Any idea what that is?
I have no idea.
Okay, well, it's a Pringles carrier.
Of course.
Okay,
That's perfect.
You know how Pringles is shaped, so you feel, all right. So
now I have a question for you. Do you have any idea what a Pokemon is?
No, a Pokemon, it's 150 of these things. that do stuff.
Okay.
Okay.
Marketing genius.
Right.
Okay. All right. Batman is back in.
Batman's back in. You know, there's going to be another Batman movie. This guy has little reflectors here.
That's
has a little built-in organizer in the front, place for pens and notes, and a regular backpack in the back. Separate water bottle here.
Right.
Now, this is fascinating. This is from me. This is called the 5-Star XL line. Now, this was introduced a couple of years ago because it was funky and high-tech. But it's a huge seller now, and do you know why?
Because when you have gym clothes, it airs it out on the way home in the bus.
Close. Security. A lot of
course.
It's sort of sad in a way, but now a lot of schools are
sense.
requiring that the security forces can see into the backpack.
Right.
So this is the new mesh backpack, and it's
that is a sad.
It is a sad thing. Okay, a couple of other things from me. You know, when you went to school, did you just have the black and white composition notebook?
Absolutely.
I know. Well, now we have binders. This is where your pen and pencils go.
What is it, like Gore-Tex or something like that?
Really high-tech stuff. Anywhere, the meat stuff is anywhere from $15 to $25. They even make, it's really nice stuff. They even make a little XL, pencils,
great.
everything goes in there. You get the smaller version. This is really neat for kids who love to make notes in school. I'm going to tell you now what my password is. My password is pizza, okay?
All right.
This little voice is going to say, what's your password?
Your password, please.
Pizza.
Password does not match. Repeat your password.
Pizza.
Welcome back. What's new?
That's so it's a journal, so that you can keep your secrets in there.
But it's voice recognition, and did you notice it knew my voice and not your voice, even though I told you what my password is.
That is so great.
It's called Password Journal, and it's $20. That's
$20.
That's really amazing. We're talking about, I didn't bring in PC for Dummies to promote the Dummies book, which are everywhere. It's posted flags. What's great about posted flags, you can mark portions of books. You can even write on the posted flag, so no more, especially books that you want to pass on to someone else, no more dog-earing the corners, no more writing in the margins. With posted flags, they come like this. They're only about $3 for a bunch of them. So posted flags are great.
I just want to mention one thing about this.
You want to write your diary? Dick was so wonderful on the show.
I have a confession to make. Actually, I did read my sister's journal at times, and had she had this kind of technology, but doesn't it look like a well-placed screwdriver would get you into that?
You're a mean brother. And your sister is here. Let's bring it.
I hope she's not watching.
Okay. You know, kids love umbrellas, throw it in the backpack. This is neat. Splash and flash.
That's a great idea. That's one of the things where you wonder why no one thought of it before.
This is from Totes. It's under $10. Casio has some new algebra math calculators. Let me just turn on the thing here, because I don't understand it at all.
You need a degree to use it.
Exactly. You can go into every sort of math or algebra. What's good about this is getting good reviews because it shows you step by step how it's solving the problem. It just doesn't give you what the answer is. Okay, under $80. Casio calls this computer extender. It's a computer that does math functions, but it also does everything else. It has miniature versions of Microsoft Word. It's Windows CE driven, $400. There's a teacher's version that's $450.
Now, I have to admit, I mean, this kind of a keyboard is too small for my hands. But maybe for kids in school age, they might be able to use this kind of
and also just for note-taking or keeping track of where classes are. Jonathan Lawson, perhaps you've heard that name.
Right.
He said, what's new in beepers? Because kids love beepers. Well, a while back we showed Beepware Pro Watch, which has a built-in beeper. But what's neat about this now, this is brand new, it's called Quick Word. The parents at home can type in a message.
Send messages.
Directly to the watch. No more calling the operator. My mother used to send me the answers on Beepware. Mom's still in jail. Hi, Mom, if you're watching. So that's Beepware Quick Word.
Let me ask you, because we have about a minute left, but on this kind of technology here, have you gotten any kind of response from any concerns over whether kids can use this to cheat? You have a message, you got your watch there, you got the school genius typing in the answers.
It's very funny because there is a product, and I decided not to show it, where kids can send information to each other silently within the classroom. So I decided I'm not going to show it because maybe kids would cheat. This is pretty hard to cheat because how would they know where? Anyway, and Brain Quest finally, questions and answers for kids to practice. It comes 1 to 7 grades, only about $11. So
flashcards, basically.
It's actually basically flashcards called Brain Quest, and they sold millions of them.
That's great. Terrific stuff.
Thanks. Okay.
A lot of interesting things.
Thanks
a lot.
I'll see you on the bus.
You will. And you can't get into my journal next time.
Yeah, right. I got to lock this.
Thanks for joining us.
Right.
You're watching World News Now. We'll be back.
Look what I got for dinner.
Sandwich! Daddy, can I start dating? Daddy,
Of course you can start. When you're 28.
Mom, can I have another sandwich, please?
Of course, honey.
The sounds of family mealtime, brought to you by Manwich.
This is Unisom Sleep Gels. It helps you sleep. This is Tylenol PM. It helps you sleep too. They both have the exact same amount of the exact same sleep ingredient. But Tylenol PM has added medicine for headaches, backaches, even fever. Do you have a headache? Backache? Fever? Then why take medicine for it? Take Unisom. It's a safe, non-habit-forming way to fall fast asleep.
When I was fat, I was in this shell. I never wanted to go anywhere. I don't need to hide myself anymore. I lost over 50 pounds with the Slim Fast plan. I've kept it off for 5 years. I'm so full of life. I love to work out, and I drink a shake every day. Delicious. I will never go back.
23 vitamins and minerals, protein, calcium, fiber, all the balanced nutrition like a healthy meal.
Feels so good. Gosh, it's phenomenal.
Slim Fast every day. Balanced nutrition for a healthy life.
I love who I am now.
Let's see which bag has the tighter seal, Glad or this expensive Ziploc slider bag.
Glad to help. My Glad is double locked for extra security.
Ooh, my Ziploc slider is tripping. Wait a minute.
Yep, my Glad makes me feel much more secure.
Excuse me, a little help here?
The double lock green seal, only Glad has it.
I sure am glad I got Glad.
Dripping, dripping.
So what's it gonna be, Glad or Ziploc?
Can I borrow a cup of water?
Don't get mad, get Glad.
Does your skincare product offer incomplete care? Most do. Even some new ones don't offer everything your skin needs most. Now, have it all. Introducing new Oil of Olay Complete. Daily protection against UVA and UVB rays, vitamin E, and Olay Moisture in one complete product. Not some of what you need some of the time. This one has it all. New Oil of Olay Complete. Proven to give your skin everything it needs most to look beautiful.
Look what I got for dinner.
Sandwich!
Daddy, can I start dating? Daddy,
Of course you can start. When you're 28.
Mom, can I have another sandwich, please?
Of course, honey.
The sounds of family mealtime, brought to you by Manwich.
Last night was the finale of ABC's Who Wants to Be a Millionaire? Our own technical director Jim Reedy is quite a trivia buff, so we wondered how would he have done on the show.
For $250,000 in 1992, which overnight news broadcast rocked your world? Was it Sesame Street? Overnight? World News Now? Ron Popeil's food hydrator demonstration?
I believe that would be C.
Your final answer?
That's my final answer.
That is the correct answer. For $500,000, what was Caligula's horse's name? Atticus, Bucephalus, Incitatus, Flicka.
I think I'll have to use my lifeline on this one.
Who would you like to call?
I'd like to call my good friend Barry Mitchell on this one.
Hello?
Hello, Barry, is that you?
Yeah, who's this?
Barry, it's Jim. I'm on the Millionaire Show.
Yeah, well, I'm on vacation. What do you want?
I need your help, pal.
Okay.
I got a question here.
Hey, did you hear that Kathy Lee's getting her own quiz show? It's called Who Wants to Hear About Cody?
We got 30 seconds here, Barry.
Yeah, go ahead.
What was the name of Caligula's horse? Was it Atticus, Bucephalus, Incitatus, or Flicka?
Mr. Ed's not one of those? I'd have to go with incitatus.
C. Final answer, yes.
You just won $500,000. And now for the $1 million question. Exactly what is the National Temperature Index? None of your damn business. If we tell you, we'd have to kill you. The square root of the cosine from the tangent of the thingamajig. None of the above.
I'm Sam Champion. Join me and thousands of cyclists on Sunday, September 26th for the MS Bike Tour. We start at the World Trade Center. We circle the city, traffic-free, and even ride through the Lincoln Tunnel without paying a toll. You can choose from 30, 60, or 100-mile routes and help the National MS Society put the brakes on multiple sclerosis. Call 212-463-9791.
Get it! 3-run homer for Mike Piazza.
You can have sports without $1 million contracts, $1 million skyboxes, and $1 million endorsements, but you can't have sports without sportsmanship. That's why I have an important message from the Nassau County Sports Commission for all kids. Playing fair and playing by the rules is the only way to play. We're only human. We're not going to be perfect all the time. That's why we got to keep working at it. We have to listen to that little umpire inside us all.
Do you know anyone with Parkinson's disease? Well, you do now. I'm Michael J. Fox. Please join the Parkinson's Unity Walk in Central Park. Every dollar raised will go to research for a cure. I'm not the first person to have Parkinson's, but with your support, I hope to be one of the last. And that's not just spin. Walk the walk, Parkinson's Unity Walk, Sunday, September 26th. Call 212-580-6505. So it's settled. You'll be there. Don't make me get the mayor.
What's it like to be 7 and hear your doctor say the word cancer? Out of the darkness comes something beautiful, a wish come true, bringing hope and laughter and a reason to keep fighting a very grown-up battle. What's it like to help? Just call us at Make-A-Wish Foundation, because there's nothing like the power of a wish.
A new season of Rosie starts September 7th on ABC 7.
Hurricane Dennis. It's not a direct hit on the Carolinas, but it's still too close for comfort.
From ABC News World Headquarters in New York, this is World News Now.
The storm stays out at sea, but kicks up high winds and heavy rain as it goes. Hello from New York, I'm Lisa Salters.
And I'm Don Dalo. Juju Chang is on assignment. Also in this half hour, the growing demand for answers about the Waco siege, and who's who and who's left in the WNBA playoffs. We begin with the brush with Hurricane Dennis.
Hurricane Dennis is no longer headed straight for the Carolinas, but the wind and rain from the outer rim of the storm are hitting the region, and the effects of Hurricane Dennis will be felt through much of the day. Although the exact path of the storm is uncertain, a hurricane warning is in effect this morning along most of the North Carolina coast. ABC's Jim Scudo has more from North Carolina.
Within hours, the evacuation order had silenced Wrightsville Beach's streets and marinas. The only traffic heading off the island to meet the 8 o'clock evacuation deadline. But there were a few brave souls who stayed behind.
I'm gonna stay, yeah. This is my livelihood. I mean, I'm here on the beach. My work's out there. I'm gonna stay and take care of it.
Like many other coastal communities in North Carolina, Wrightsville Beach began evacuating all residents and tourists on Sunday afternoon. Firefighters went door to door to make sure everyone heard the news.
Yeah, I think they're trying to get everything to jump on everything, so it's not like last year's.
Yeah, we'll be ready.
Hurricane Dennis is not expected to hit land head-on, but the Wrightsville Beach Town Board decided to issue an evacuation order anyway.
If we're going to err, we're going to err on the side of trying to be a little prudent and more safe. We want to be, it's the old safe than sorry type situation.
Not all Wrightsville Beach residents and visitors were playing it safe.
I mean, if they want to go out there, they're able to, but we advise them not to.
But most were at least taking some precautions.
You board up, you tape your windows, get your water in, your canned goods and everything, and
It's a ritual that was repeated up and down the coast of the Carolinas, including in Charleston, South Carolina.
Trying to get the things off the porch so they don't fly in through the windows.
Evacuation is inconvenient for residents and expensive for coastal communities. The National Weather Service estimates that it costs $1 million to evacuate each mile of coastline. Jim Sciutto, ABC News, Wilmington, North Carolina.
Fire officials in several western states continue their week-long battle against wildfires. More than 200,000 acres have been burned across the region, but officials say most of the fires are now being contained. One California firefighter was killed over the weekend on a scene of a blaze north of Santa Barbara.
President and Mrs. Clinton head to upstate New York today on the final leg of their part vacation, part undeclared campaign stop. They'll be visiting the State Fair in Syracuse and spending time in the Finger Lakes region. Last night at a fundraiser in the Hamptons, President Clinton described his wife as the person who wants to be the next U.S. Senator from New York. The 1993 fire that destroyed the Branch Davidian compound in Waco, Texas, is creating a firestorm of controversy in Washington. Lawmakers want to know who in the government knew what and when about how the 51-day siege ended. Here's ABC's Lauren Rogers.
6 years after the standoff with the Branch Davidians ended, the FBI's admission that it used flammable tear gas grenades has fanned the flames of government conspiracy once again.
We still don't know all the facts here, and I know there are a lot of people, really hundreds of thousands of people, concerned about whether this has been a big cover-up by the Justice Department and even the FBI.
The FBI says on the final day of the operation, a limited number of pyrotechnic canisters were fired, but not at the compound that burned down. Former FBI agents who were involved in the 51-day operation insist David Koresh and his followers started the fire themselves.
There were no other pyrotechnics based on the information that I have that were used at any time on the wooden structure itself. I am 100% convinced that the FBI did not cause that fire in there.
Attorney General Janet Reno has said she did not know the flammable tear gas was used, and she's promised a full investigation. But Republicans say this information should have been revealed much earlier.
She said the buck stops here 6 years ago. And she's the person in charge of making sure that those 80-some people that were killed and the things behind that are made available to the American people.
Both the Justice Department and Congress are promising to investigate once again what really happened at the Branch Davidian compound. Lauren Rogers, ABC News, Washington.
Voters in the Indonesian territory of East Timor are deciding their own future today. They are choosing whether to remain part of Indonesia as an autonomous region or declare independence. Turnout so far is said to be strong, with few reports of violence or intimidation. Israel and the Palestinians this morning are downplaying optimism of a peace process breakthrough. An Egyptian mediator tried yesterday to help nail down an agreement. They are trying to come to terms on implementing the most recent accord on Israeli withdrawal from more of the West Bank.
Some tough Wisconsin folks proved they could really take the heat. They took part in a jalapeno eating contest at Milwaukee's annual Mexican Fiesta yesterday. It may not have been easy to gulp down the hot peppers, but many gave it a go, making the event one of the most popular of the day. That reminds me of a friend of mine in LA who had to get the hottest hot sauce on her burrito.
Not popular with
she ended up taking it back. It was too hot. I left.
You know what? Jalapenos, there's actually an international company or organization that judges the hotness of peppers. Jalapenos are only 17 on a measurement that goes up to 200, if you can believe it.
Oh, I can take a little bit. Crazy. And that's it.
Well, let's see. Another hot area. Predictions of the stormy end of the millennium for many Americans. The Farmer's Almanac, which goes on sale tomorrow, says November and December will be unusually stormy. But New Year's Eve should be calm and the rest of the winter wild. The rest of the winter will be wild. As for today's weather, Hurricane Dennis is bringing wind and rain to the Carolinas. Showers will also hit the southern Rockies and the Northwest. It may be unusually cool in the Northeast and Northwest, warmer than normal in the northern plains. Here's a national temperature index, international forecasts, and scenes from a Belgian beach.
me as a white knight on his steed. Now you know how happy I can be.
World News Now weather, brought to you by Folgers Whole Bean.
Starts and ends without dollar one to spend. Please release me.
They're here, filled with aroma and flavor, only they're waiting to be released by you. Introducing Folgers new whole bean coffee. Every time you grind these beans, you release something sensational, a deeper, richer aroma. This is Arabica bean perfection in a whole different Folgers, the whole bean Folgers. New Folgers premium whole bean coffees. They're waiting.
There's nothing like the way I feel after a good night's sleep. That's why I love my Tylenol PM. For me, there's just no reason to have trouble sleeping. I take Tylenol PM before bed. It stops my pain and helps me sleep. So I'm ready for another great day.
This summer, put Cadillac Seville's amazing performance to the test and get a lesson in power and control. Then put our lease to the test. Lease a new 99 Seville for just $549 a month. Call for complete lease details. You'll even get a 3-year SmartCare basic maintenance contract at no extra charge. So drive a Seville today and put Cadillac to the test.
Look what's for dinner.
Manwich!
You guys had a long practice today, huh?
Yeah.
Your throwing is fantastic.
Well, she gets that from me.
Hey, Mom, can I have another manwich?
Of course.
The sounds of family mealtime, brought to you by Manwich.
I'm a junk food junkie. I mean, if it tasted good, I had to have it. I had the thighs to prove it.
If you want a delicious way to lose weight from Slim Fast, grab a meal on the go bar.
They were made for me. I've lost 15 pounds on the Slim Fast plan, and I loved every minute of it. The milk chocolate peanut is incredible. Just toss one in your bag. It's lunch.
22 vitamins and minerals, high in calcium, a well-balanced meal in 4 fantastic flavors.
It's got a big punch to it.
Slim Fast meal on the go bars. Every day. Balanced nutrition for a healthy life.
I am so glad I found these.
San Francisco at Oakland, tonight, 8 Eastern, 5 Pacific.
When I grow up, I want to find the perfect woman, and as often as possible. I want to do nothing really well. When I grow up, I don't ever want to visit the hair replacement center. I want to have pizza whenever I want it.
Oh, grow up. Coming Wednesdays this fall on ABC.
Vendela.
World News Now Sports, brought to you by Slim Fast Foods.
Time to check in with the women of sports and the WNBA playoffs. The New York Liberty and Charlotte Sting will play their series rubber match tonight. Teresa Weatherspoon led New York with 19 points last night as they beat Charlotte 74-70. And in Houston yesterday, Cynthia Cooper poured in 22 points as the Houston Comets ran up the score on the LA Sparks, 83-55. The best of the 3 Western Conference series is now tied at 1 game each and will be decided tonight in LA. So what happens when athletes stop being nice and start getting real? Here's ESPN with the plays of the week.
This is the true story
of the plays of the week
and the lives of the sportscasters who read them.
To find out what happens when anchors stop being polite
and start getting real. It's the plays of the week.
They run a reverse again for Ward. Turn back inside. Bounces off Michael Boone. Still going, and he's going to score.
Oh, and Earnhardt spins him out. Oh, man.
You never know it by looking at him, but I definitely have to say Bill Pito is the player on the SportsCenter staff.
I'm really glad to be back. I'd love to show you around.
You know, Bill, I really have that under control, but thanks.
He crosses the line, and he's got it! He's got it! Honey, I know I can't get Pito off the phone. It is ridiculous. Thank God Pito finally got out of the SportsCenter shower. This guy spends half his life in here.
Oh, yes! Man, what a play!
Play that back on Sports Center, Bristol.
Drives out on the center field, and it is out of here! Phoenix City rises from the ashes!
Bill is like the mascot, and Susie's the cute one, and J-Jax is the cool one, and Larry, I don't know what Larry is, but he's the musical one. Where do I fit in? What am I all about?
Sportscasters as celebrities.
Sports for this half-hour programming note. Tonight's Game 3, Sparks in Houston in Houston.
When we come back, shoring up defenses as Dennis approaches.
ABC's World News Now will continue after this from our ABC stations.
For more than 60 years, the March of Dimes has given the gift of a healthy birthday to every baby. Hi, I'm Rob Hanrahan of Eyewitness News. Did you know your motorcycle could save a life? Call 516-496-2100 and register for the March of Dimes Ride for Healthier Babies, September 12th on Long Island. You and the March of Dimes, saving babies together.
We're everywhere you need us to be. From your child's school to your family's safety. From things that hit your checkbook to people who touch your heart. Channel 7 Eyewitness News. We're your ears, your eyes, your voice. When you need it most, the one to watch. This is Eyewitness News.
Here's a look at some stories we're following this morning. The center of Hurricane Dennis is staying away from the East Coast, which is good news for Carolina residents. But even with the worst storm remaining at sea, many beachfront residents still evacuated. Investigators are looking into what caused a fatal roller coaster accident in New Jersey on Saturday. A mother and a daughter were killed when their car slid backward and they were thrown from it. Now is a good time to be looking for a job, according to a new hiring survey. Manpower Incorporated finds demand for workers around the country is at the highest it's been in 20 years.
Well, people love weather stories. We love to see snow piled up to rooftops, houses sliding down rain-soaked hillsides, winds toppling trees like Lincoln logs. We like to see the chaos nature can cause. That is, if we're not in its path. Sitting comfortably in front of our TVs, we can watch in awe as wild weather destroys someone else's house. But it's different if, say, you're on the North Carolina coast and Hurricane Dennis is headed straight for you. Here's some of their news from WTVD in Raleigh-Durham, North Carolina last night.
Good evening, everybody. I'm Cor Harlem. New tonight at 11 o'clock, Hurricane Dennis is picking up strength as it churns towards North Carolina this evening. People left the coastal areas in droves today, expecting the worst. This afternoon, Governor Hunt declared a state of emergency and a state of disaster in North Carolina. Meteorologist Gary McGrady has new information on the storm's position and its direction tonight. Gary?
That is right, Cor. Literally just coming off the presses. Here's what's happening right now in terms of what's happening out there with Dennis. I want to start with a radar loop here so you can get an idea of where the rain is going. The northern extent of this rain is not really working into central North Carolina, but there is a lot of rain coming up from the south. Hurricane warning is still in effect for most of the coastline of North Carolina. We still think that Dennis is going to skirt close enough to the North Carolina shoreline that some areas could pick up hurricane-type winds and even higher gusts than that. Right now, still a wind of 105 miles per hour. Winds out of the moving to the north-northeast at about 14 miles per hour. There is the current position. It is moving a little bit more to the east now. That is good news. We've been waiting for that, and the pressure continues to drop. I just made this, so this is the forecast. I'll show it to you coming up in just a few minutes. But as you get an idea here, it is staying a little bit off the coast, and that right now is the good news, and it is expected to do so, and it is cooperating. Cor?
Okay, Gary, thanks very much. On to our coverage now. Several coastal counties ordered evacuations this afternoon. People were told to leave Topsail Beach, Surf City, and low-lying areas along the Intercoastal Waterway in Pender County as well. The Outer Banks south of Oregon Inlet in Dare and Hyde counties have been cleared as well as Brunswick County beaches and New Hanover County beaches. Now, News Channel 11's Greg Barnes is in New Hanover County this evening, just across the bridge from Wrightsville Beach in Wilmington. Good evening, Greg.
Hi, Cora. Weather conditions have really deteriorated since we were reported live at 6 o'clock from Carolina Beach. They've closed the barrier islands, and so they moved all of the media off over to the mainland. As you can see, the feeder bands have already passed us by. We are now getting tropical gale force winds and tropical rain. Give you an idea of how fast the wind's blowing, have photographer Steve Varga point up to some of the palm trees that are outside the motel that we're at here right now. We're getting gusts, the National Weather Service says, upwards of 40 to 50 miles an hour. The streets of Carolina Beach were nearly deserted Sunday evening. Police roadblocks kept traffic from going back onto the barrier islands.
Our issue, again, is life safety first.
Earlier today at 12 noon, New Hanover County officials declared a state of emergency and ordered the mandatory evacuations.
All residents are ordered to evacuate the island immediately.
Tourists and residents streamed from the beaches this afternoon. Meanwhile, merchants, like homeowners, boarded up their property in what's become a ritual.
We thought Bonnie would be the last one. That wasn't to be.
They also chained down anything and everything that could blow away. By mid-afternoon, parts of Carolina Beach looked more like a ghost town than a resort. Inland, though, long lines formed at area gas stations as residents topped off their tanks and filled up portable gas containers. Even though Dennis may sideswipe the Carolina coast, local charter fishing boat captains weren't taking any chances either. Today, they pulled out of their berths at Carolina Beach and headed up the Cape Fear River to ride out the storm. But not everybody left. Carolina Beach resident Mark Gauthier plans to ride out the storm in his beachfront apartment.
Just going to wait and see what happens.
But you're not afraid?
No.
Not even worried a little bit?
Well, maybe a little bit.
As Hurricane Dennis churns the Atlantic offshore, the rising storm brings out the brave and the curious. You hear that roar? That's the classic roar of gale force winds blowing into North Carolina. It's going to be a long night here along the coast. My colleague Melody Hunter-Pillion will be out in the storm first thing at 5 o'clock to start bringing you live reports. Good morning, Carolina. For now, we're live just outside Wrightsville Beach. Greg Barnes, News Channel 11, ABC. Cor?
Further to the south in South Carolina, it has rained very, very hard for most of the day in Myrtle Beach. The heavy rains and high winds brought on by Hurricane Dennis as well. News Channel 11's Bill Wilson is live tonight in Myrtle Beach. Bill, are conditions getting any worse there?
Yeah, I think so. I think we're getting the brunt of it right now. Hurricane Dennis is about 100 miles off this coast and is trying to do its best to stir up some trouble here along Myrtle Beach's Grand Strand. The fishing pier behind me, 10 years ago this month, next month, it was destroyed by Hurricane Hugo. Right now, it's holding its own against Dennis. Dennis, the first storm of this year to threaten the Carolina coast. Tonight, as Hurricane Dennis knocks at the front door of Myrtle Beach, 20 miles inland, Patsy Hudson fiddles with a radio, trying to get an update. She and 9 others decide to stick out the hurricane in the safety of Conway High School.
Well, I went through Hugo, and I know what it does, and I'd rather be in a safe place than not to be one.
As the storm turns closer and closer to Myrtle Beach, the waves crash here at the 2nd Avenue fishing pier. The hurricane, though, is expected to only brush the Grand Strand in the early morning hours. Doug Wilcox has managed Red Cross shelters now for 6 hurricanes. He says some people want to experience at least one of the storms in a lifetime. They don't seem to be too scared of Dennis.
When you see a hurricane, you see the clouds and the rain and the high surf and the high water, but you're not threatened by it. And this is one of those hurricanes.
The early effects of the storm did have its first casualty this evening. Strong winds blew what appeared to be a baby pigeon into the surf. The creature struggled for a few minutes and was finally rescued by a Myrtle Beach police officer.
I guess the baby pigeon fell from underneath the pier there, and we pulled him out of the surf and bring him to the Humane Society now. They dry him off and let him go when he gets big.
Reporting live in Myrtle Beach, Bill Wilson, News Channel 11, ABC.
That was some of their news from WTVD-TV in Raleigh-Durham, North Carolina last night. You've probably done a lot of storm coverage.
Yeah, I know you don't get too many of those out in Los Angeles, but 10 years ago, Hurricane Hugo hit the coast there and was still a hurricane when it reached 200 miles inland, so I know they're glad it's not a repeat. You're watching World News Now. We'll be back.
Used to be, if I want something done right, I called me. It worked. Until I tried to quit smoking. I needed more than me. I got Nicorette. Nicorette helped me 2 ways. I used it on a regular schedule to help prevent my cravings, and for unexpected cravings, I was ready with an extra piece. I used to be a slave to cigarettes. Nicorette helped me hang on, helped me win. Now that I'm nicotine-free, I gotta tell you, it feels good to win.
Now Nicorette is available in mint. What a refreshing choice. You can do it. Nicorette can help.
If you could create the perfect food, what would it be? It would be a balance of nature's nutrients. It would have the vitamins and minerals your body needs. It would have carbohydrates, protein, calcium, fiber. It would give you nourishment and energy. It would be low fat, help you stay in shape, and be truly delicious. It's all here in Slim Fast. Perfect for breakfast, lunch, anytime. Slim Fast every day. Balanced nutrition for a healthy life.
Now, move over to the right.
If you think it looks good.
No, the other way, my right.
Wait till you know it has more standard safety features.
A little more.
And more room for you and your stuff than Ford ZX2.
A little more.
Chevy Cavalier. The more you know, the better it looks.
Perfect.
Genuine Chevrolet.
How was it? Beautiful.
You can drive away in a new Cavalier with your choice of low APR financing or big cash back. See your Chevrolet dealer today.
I can't believe it. They've reinvented bleach.
Who did?
This new Clorox Advantage bleach.
A new bleach?
It's a whole new kind of bleach that's made thicker so it doesn't splash like regular bleach.
It doesn't?
And it's safe on fabrics and it brightens whites even better than Clorox bleach.
That's a lot of advantages.
So how can you be so calm?
Well, it's not like the sky is falling.
Close enough.
New Clorox Advantage Bleach. It's Clorox Bleach, even better.
Time to check the morning papers. I was looking through the Financial Times, and there is an article in here about Fuji Bank emailing a computer virus to dozens of fund managers. Evidently, it will come on and say, you are a big, stupid jerk. It's a big scandal there because it obviously causes concerns about security in the bank's computer system. Some prankster put in an email.
I send that email out to lots of people. My headline, a story we know about, death rides, the cover of the New York Post, the weekend roller coaster accident in New Jersey. Just as someone who likes going to amusement parks, this would terrify me. There have been way too many.
It's scary.
This summer.
And there's an inherent assumption that these things are checked out, they're safe.
Sure.
And then you get there, so you're comfortable going upside down on the roller coaster, not thinking that you're going to fall out.
Or die.
Right.
Certainly not.
Right.
I have another good one on the wire, the AP Wire. Consumers will buy an estimated 2.97 billion prescriptions this year, 9% more of last year. And guess what is the top-selling drug?
Let me guess. It would have to be Viagra or antidepressants, one or the other.
Antidepressants.
Yeah.
What does that tell you?
It tells you we're
really bummed out.
buying more prescription drugs. Well, some people have their own prescription for how not to be bummed out. There's another article on the wire, and you've probably heard about this. In Los Angeles, a woman's been ordered to stand trial on animal cruelty charges for pornography that involves stomping on insects or mice. Naked women stomping on insects or mice. Somebody videotapes it and they sell. Evidently, there are thousands of copies of these kinds of tapes out there.
Ew.
There's your story for next week. You get to cover that.
Ew. Yucky.
That's Los Angeles.
Ew. I hadn't heard that, and ew. Don't want to hear any more about it, actually. What else you got?
It's a strange world. The last one, actually, that I looked at was, you know, tomorrow is the second-year anniversary of Princess Di's death.
Yeah.
And last year there were
2
all
years.
kinds of, that's it. It's hard to believe that it was 2 years. But last year there were all kinds of huge events and memorial services. They're really playing it down this year. It's kind of astounding. They are not having any kind of special services. It's just a very quiet thing.
I wonder if it'll be that way for the JFK Jr. tragedy. You think?
I wonder. You know, it's the question of the cult of personality. I mean,
Sure.
Elvis, every year they have a huge thing for him. That's the news for this half hour.
Coming up, more news from ABC.
Final boarding call. All passengers, gate 10. Don't be late. Call 540-WAKE for a reliable wake-up call. Just $2. When you can't be late, you gotta call WAKE. That's 540-WAKE. Call now.
Like my beloved mother Elizabeth, you could be one of 16 million Americans who have diabetes. Help fight this terrible disease by participating in America's Walk for Diabetes. Come raise awareness and funds crucial for diabetes research, education, and advocacy. Together, we can make every step count.
America's Walk for Diabetes takes place on Sunday, October 3rd at Riverside Park. To register, call 1-800-254-WALK or sign up online at www.diabetes.org.
Hi, I need your help. Every 12 minutes, someone dies from leukemia, lymphoma, or myeloma, the #1 disease killers of adults under the age of 35 in America today. The Leukemia Society of America is finding cures through research and helping patients and their families. I serve on the Society's board. Donate and volunteer my time because I can help save lives. Won't you join me? Call the Leukemia Society of America today.
I'm Sam Champion. Join me and thousands of cyclists on Sunday, September 26th for the MS Bike Tour. We start at the World Trade Center. We circle the city, traffic-free, and even ride through the Lincoln Tunnel without paying a toll. You can choose from 30, 60, or 100-mile routes and help the National MS Society put the brakes on multiple sclerosis. Call 212-463-9791.
In other news, George Taylor was expected to be promoted today at cryogenics. Mr. Taylor failed to show. Company officials are concerned. He should have called 540-WAKE at just $2 for a reliable wake-up call. When you can't be late, you gotta call WAKE. 540-WAKE.
I won the bet. Will Roseanne pay up? Next, Oprah.
Hurricane Dennis stays offshore, but it's still delivering plenty of wind and rain.
From ABC News World Headquarters in New York, this is World News Now.
The Carolinas are getting clipped by the storm's outer edges. Hello from New York, I'm Lisa Salters.
I'm Don Daler. Juju Chang is on assignment. Also in this half hour, Leah Rosen on the summer's box office bombs and why one injured elephant has hundreds of thousands of well-wishers. We begin with Hurricane Dennis.
Hurricane Dennis has turned towards the northeast, and for residents of the North Carolina coast, that's a turn for the better. That's because the eye of the storm seems unlikely to pass directly over land. But a hurricane warning is still in effect from Little River Inlet, South Carolina, to Oregon Inlet, North Carolina. We get more on Hurricane Dennis from Ross Cavett of WSB-TV, who's in Myrtle Beach, South Carolina.
Tropical storm force winds touched Myrtle Beach, bringing gusty winds and heavy surf. It also brought out Officer Jay Holden to the beach on storm patrol.
Checking the buildings and checking to see if there's a lot of people left on the beach and if there's anything that we need to maybe get out of the water that's out surfing this late at night. We do have swimmers out. We have people right down there in the water.
This man, who we nicknamed Rip Tide, cased into 6 to 8 foot surf kicked up by Dennis before the cops could chase him down. Swimming was a very bad idea. Frolicking was allowed.
I want to take my clothes off and go in my swimsuit, but it's got an undertow to it.
It seemed to be 50-50, the percentage of people taking Dennis seriously enough to actually board up their window. There was a sign of the danger earlier when a crowd of onlookers spotted this water spout off the Myrtle Beach pier.
You don't really think about water spouts when you think about hurricanes, but that just makes it more real. And, you know, we tend to think they can come on land.
Emergency officials expected Dennis to sideswipe the Carolinas, leaving this area with 50-mile-an-hour winds throughout the night. For man and beast alike, the storm was a curiosity. For these guys from Chicago, it was a wonder.
Here we are!
You don't see this on Lake Michigan?
Don't see this on Michigan, no. Big old waves. We love that.
That report from Ross Cavett of WSB TV.
Fire officials in several western states hope to continue winning a week-long fight against wildfires. More than 200,000 acres have been burned throughout the region, but officials say most of the fires are now being contained. One California firefighter was killed while battling a blaze over the weekend north of Santa Barbara. In Birmingham, Michigan, near Detroit, a train derailment is under investigation. Part of a 97-car train that was carrying mostly automobiles came off the tracks yesterday. Two of the cars later burst into flames. No one was injured in the incident.
Justice and Defense Department officials should be expecting subpoenas from a senior House Republican this week. At issue, why some information on the deadly 1993 Waco siege is only now coming to light. Here's ABC's John Martin.
The chairman of a House committee vowed to find out what the government knew of FBI agents firing 2 incendiary devices before this blaze broke out, a fact the FBI seemed to deny until this past week. The chairman took special aim at Attorney General Janet Reno.
When you ask me, do I trust her? I certainly do not, and that's why my committee is going to do a very thorough investigation of this whole matter.
But a retired FBI supervisor insisted the incendiary devices were mentioned but overlooked in a final report on Waco. He said military tear gas canisters were aimed at a concrete bunker 50 yards away by tunnel from where members of the religious group were assembled and later died.
The purpose was to attempt to take away that area as a possible staging area for a counter-assault.
But another former FBI official said the incendiary devices were not mentioned to him at the time, nor to Janet Reno.
I was absolutely shocked, just as the Attorney General was shocked.
Meanwhile, a filmmaker who has already produced one documentary on Waco said this infrared video shows a firefight at the rear of the compound. He says he has evidence to be presented in yet another documentary this fall that the fight was carried out by a military unit called Delta Force.
Who were the people on the ground is the new revelation.
The government denies a firefight took place or that Delta Force took part in the operation. But with so many questions raised now, even Democrats who defend the Attorney General called for a probe.
There ought to be an independent, outside justice, outside FBI investigation.
So, after more than 6 years, the flames of Waco have been rekindled by questions of what the government did and what it said it did. John Martin, ABC News, Washington.
The Arizona Supreme Court has cleared the way for a 14-year-old girl to receive a late-term abortion. The court yesterday overturned a lower court ruling that blocked the youngster from going to Kansas to abort her 6-month-old fetus. The girl has been a ward of the state for the last 9 years. Officials say her pregnancy was a result of rape.
A tiring but productive walk in the Empire State has ended. More than 2,000 people walked 55 miles across New York State to raise money for breast cancer education. The 3-day trek, ending in Manhattan Central Park, netted more than $4 million. Looks like a worthy cause there.
Yeah, speaking of people walking around New York these days, you know who's a new resident here?
Monica Lewinsky.
Right.
I thought you were going to say me. I'm here for a week.
For a week from Los Angeles.
But I'm not living as large as Monica Lewinsky is going to be living.
I know. Evidently she picked out an apartment in the West Village, Greenwich Village,
right.
$4,000 a month. Rent.
That's about $3,500 a month more than I could afford.
I guess an internship pays pretty good these days.
I mean, other than the fact that Monica Lewinsky is living here, which I really don't care about, why is housing so expensive here? I don't get it. How can you afford to live here? Tell me.
I can't afford to live here. That's why I travel all the time.
Okay,
I have a hotel room.
I got you.
All right. Well, we got to change now. Turning to the weather. The Carolinas, of course, are getting wind and rain as Hurricane Dennis travels off the southeast coast. They've got to be grateful it didn't hit harder than that. Showers also hitting the southern Rockies and northwest. It will be unseasonably cool in the northeast and northwest, above normal temperatures in the northern plains. Now here's the National Temperature Index and local forecasts as we visit Maui.
World News Now weather, brought to you by Bounty.
Bounty introduces new designs. There's new fun prints. Vivid, vibrant. And new home decor prints for contemporary kitchens. They're the more modern quilted Quicker Pick You-Upper. Cheerful, playful, to brighten up your home.
The quilted Quicker Pick You-Upper.
New Bounty home decor and fun prints.
There's nothing like the way I feel after a good night's sleep. That's why I love my Tylenol PM. For me, there's just no reason to have trouble sleeping. I take Tylenol PM before bed. It stops my pain and helps me sleep. So I'm ready for another great day.
Living with people means give and take. Like, my roommates get to eat my cooking school homework, so they clean up. They do a great job. They spend hours scrubbing and soaking my precious kettles.
Cascade Gel lets you put things into the dishwasher you never thought you could because it breaks up and dissolves tough foods. Others can leave your stuff looking like this, but Cascade can leave everything amazingly clean.
Now this almost makes me want to pay their part of the rent. Almost.
Look what's for dinner.
Sandwich!
You guys had a long practice today, huh?
Yeah.
Your throwing is fantastic.
Well, she gets that from me.
Hey, Mom, can I have another manwich?
Of course.
The sounds of family mealtime, brought to you by Manwich.
Excuse me, honey. Is it true Western Union charges up to $5 more to wire money than MoneyGram? So?
Hey, that on MoneyGram. I don't want to talk to you.
Well, I'm talking to you now, honey. That's my friends and neighbors' hard-earned money.
Use MoneyGram to wire money and save up to $5 over Western Union and get a free phone call.
Bob, we're making a kill. Busy.
MoneyGram. Where's your money going?
Want to know more about talking to your children about AIDS? Send for a free information guide. Call 1-800-342-AIDS.
Mike and Heather, take one.
Let's rehearse. Morning, Caitlin. What was that?
I slapped you.
There's no slapping on Spin City.
Got it.
Morning, Caitlin. Why?
Well, you said no slapping.
Rolling. Morning, Caitlin.
Is that Spin City?
Oh, it is now.
Heather Locklear joins Spin City Tuesdays on ABC.
World News Now Sports, brought to you by MoneyGram.
We go now to sports. The Arizona Diamondbacks have won 12 of their last 14 games. Last night they beat the New York Mets 8-4. Arizona's Luis Gonzalez drove in 4 runs with a home run, 2 doubles, and a single. New York fell 3.5 games behind the Atlanta Braves for first place in the NL East. Arizona has an 8.5 game lead in the NL West. Chicago sports fans have at least one thing to cheer about. The Cubs' Sammy Sosa smacked his league-leading 54th home run last night as Chicago beat the LA Dodgers 6-0. Slamming Sammy now leads Mark McGwire by 3 long balls. Now on to the Bulls. Last week they brought back their champion point guard B.J. Armstrong, and guess who else? ESPN's Bob Lee reports on Chicago's next basketball messiah.
Those days seem so very far away, especially now in Chicago, where the Cubs wallow in the basement, their only attraction leaping off the bat of Sammy Sosa. The White Sox are eating distant second-place dust. The Blackhawks missed the playoffs. That's no mean feat in hockey. The Bears, off a 4-12 season, feature 4 quarterbacks who among them have 2 career starts. Even the Chicago Fire, the defending MLS champions, are struggling in 4th place. And the Bulls, once the crown jewel of sports, the gold standard of professional excellence, a juggernaut of global repute. The Bulls come off a season with 13 victories in 50 games. But they have a plan, cagily surveying talent, hoarding salary cap millions, passing this summer on free agents Penny Hardaway, Terrell Brandon, and Mitch Richmond, hoping to rebuild a team that will next year attract a Grant Hill or a Tim Duncan. The Bulls, masters of their domain, began the plan to restore the glory to Chicago, a city hungry for success, a city accustomed to larger-than-life figures such as Capone, Hallis, Jake and Elwood, Daley, Ditka, and Jordan. Chicago is about to reclaim such a figure with a signing of international importance.
I think it's appropriate that the sports fans around America take a day or two to ooh and ah and hold their breath again and be glad again.
Because the Bulls have re-signed Will Perdue. Will Perdue of the world champion San Antonio Spurs. Where Will goes, championships follow.
As I promised last year, the third title is oh so sweet. I know, because once again I had that same damn seat. So let's all enjoy number 3. Who knows, that could be it for me.
Hardly. Let's examine this historic homecoming. Perdue, with the largest feet in basketball, size 21 quintuple A, a shoe size more than 4 times the scoring average, owner of 4 championship rings and 2 offensive moves. He is back with the Bulls, and across Chicago, hearts beat faster in anticipation and with the hope the Bulls strategically have saved enough cap room to also re-sign Bill Wennington.
How quickly they fall. The Bulls, now you just laugh at them.
Size 21 feet, though. The guy's got a great foundation for a championship now.
He's got 2 moves, though. It's the fake and going straight to the hoop.
Straight to the hoop.
Whatever. That's sports for this half hour.
When we come back, a look at this summer's biggest box office bombs.
ABC's World News Now will continue after this from our ABC stations.
Elizabeth Machado said, "Goodbye, acne."
Thank you, Dr. Zismore.
Bernice Palmer said, "No more dark spots."
Thanks, Dr. Zismore.
Now you can have beautiful, clear skin. I'm Dr. Zismore, and I can help you look your best. My office provides great skin care at a fair price. Call me for an appointment at 212-594-SKIN, and you can start on the road to beautiful, clear skin now.
Joan Getz said, "Hello, beautiful, clear skin."
Thank you, Dr. Zismore.
Call 212-594-SKIN for an appointment.
Do you have an invention or idea? Then the only name you need to know is Advent Product Development. We're a clearinghouse for companies looking for inventions and ideas like yours. Our coast-to-coast computer network can put you together with the right company. We'll also help patent your invention, present it to industry, and get your product on TV. No invention is too large or too small. Call us now for a free inventor's kit. Call 1-800-9-INVENT. That's 1-800-9-INVENT.
Here's a look at some stories we're following this morning. Hurricane Dennis may turn out to be a little less dangerous than many expected. Forecasters say the eye of the storm will remain at sea and will not hit land. It is causing strong wind and rain across the Carolinas. Many beachfront residents took precautions before the hurricane hit, boarding up their houses. North Carolina's Outer Banks barrier islands are under evacuation orders. President and Mrs. Clinton will spend the day in upstate New York after a celebrity-filled fundraising weekend in the Hamptons. The Clintons raised money for the Democratic Party and for the First Lady's expected Senate bid.
Normally on Mondays, Leah Rosen would be here to talk about what happened at the box office, but every now and then we like to give Leah a long weekend, so I'll give you the scoop. Bruce Willis held on to the top spot for the 4th week in a row with The Sixth Sense. It took in an estimated $20 million. The Antonio Banderas action flick 13th Warrior debuted at number 2. Runaway Bride was 3rd. The number 4 spot went to Bowfinger. And Mickey Blue Eyes rounded out the top 5. Now, we may have given Leah the day off, but before she left, we asked her to sit down and talk with Juju Chang. Leah got to pick the topic.
Well, I thought we could talk about the movies that really tanked at the box office this summer, because I mean, it was a great summer for a lot of movies, but not everyone can be a winner. And some of the most hotly anticipated films at the beginning of the summer turned out to be turkeys by the end. Exactly. I think the big losers this summer were 2 films. Let's take a look and we'll talk about them. I think Eyes Wide Shut.
One of the most hyped, frankly.
Exactly. One of the most hyped, had the cover of Time magazine, Tom Cruise, Nicole Kidman together on screen. Of course, Sidney Kubrick's last film. He died right after doing his last cut. But the film came out. It did decently its first weekend and then dropped almost 50% at the box office the next weekend. It's going to limp in with about $60 million, which is about what it cost. Then Wild Wild West. I mean, in the end, the film will make money. It'll make $120 million or something, but that's what it cost at least. Some people think it cost $180 million. It proved Will Smith isn't necessarily going to blow him away at the box office. I mean, I think this was an embarrassment to everybody. They thought they could get sequels out of the thing. It was just truly a turkey. And fortunately, it is gone.
Something went terribly wrong.
Something went really wrong with that when you'd be better off watching the old TV series. Let's talk about other losers. Those weren't the only movies to do badly. Actually, here are films. Let's show a bunch of films that are going to kind of break even. They did so-so.
If you're a movie executive, you've got to feel bad to like have a stinker of a movie in the boffo summer that was '99.
It's not going to get you promoted. You might be worrying about how you're making the next house payment. These films aren't going to get anyone fired, but they're not going to get anyone promoted. The Haunting. This was a huge horror film. John DeBont directed, who had done Speed. This cost at least $80 million, and that's about what it will make at the box office. It was the kind of horror film where people were laughing by the end.
Oh, no.
Inspector Gadget, a truly wretched kids film, cost Disney at least $80 million. Is going to end up making some money at the box office, but any parent who had to sit through it just regretted every minute. Thomas Crown Affair is going to do respectably, but it didn't blow him away at the box office. Younger audiences just weren't going to go see it. And this is Deep Blue Sea. This would be this summer's shark movie. Anyone who wanted to see a shark movie went, but people who weren't necessarily shark fanatics didn't go. Film cost at least about $80 million to make so far, is coming in about that. So those are the so-so movies.
I liked Thomas Crown Affair.
Well, you're allowed to.
Okay,
I'm just saying it's not in that $100 million club.
Gotcha.
Now let's look at the real losers. These films dead on arrival at the box office. You ready?
Uh-huh.
The Love Letter. This was the only film to open up against The Phantom Menace. Opened same week. They figured counter-programming, get women. Nobody went.
Wow.
Kate Capshaw, Ellen DeGeneres just died. Instinct. This was Anthony Hopkins basically doing, revisiting Silence of the Lambs. No one went to see this one. It was a psychological thriller. This is called 13th Floor. It was a sci-fi thriller. Do you even remember it?
I saw promos for it. It was not interested.
Came and went with, then there was Summer of Sam. This is Spike Lee's movie. It got mixed to decent critical reviews, did okay in sort of bigger cities, but out in the suburbs and rural areas, no one wanted to see it. This would, of course, be Miss Piggy, Muppets from Space. Maybe the Muppets movies have run their course.
Not to be confused with Shakespeare here.
Yeah, this one just didn't take off. This was Drop Dead Gorgeous, which was a little satire. I kind of liked the first hour of this, but boy, it made no money. It was clear no one had an interest in that one. This is Mystery Men. They were hoping to sort of do a cult film. It had a hip cast, Ben Stiller, Janine Garofalo, Pee Wee Herman. But again, it's just not showing strength at the box office. This is the film I'm sorriest about.
This is a brilliant film.
This is Dick. I think this is a hilarious movie. The problem is they have been marketing it to teenagers. It's about two 15-year-olds who essentially bring down Richard Nixon in the Watergate era, and you have to be old enough to remember the Watergate era, to know the players, to get the jokes.
Right. If you're 30, go see this movie. If you're 40, run to see this movie. If you're 50, you must see.
You'll love this movie, but if you're 14 or 15 and that's who they're marketing through, you're going to be insulted at seeing yourself portrayed as a bubblegum chewing airhead.
That's true, although Sharon Newman says that she was a bubblegum chewing teenager at one point in her life, and she's not at all insulted.
And look what happened to her. She became producer of this show.
There you go.
The jury is still out. There's some other movies. For example, the Steve Martin film now, Bowfinger, is probably going to do pretty well, although it may not crack $100 million. The new Hugh Grant film, Mickey Blue Eyes, is performing okay at the box office. It's not going to run away, but it's not a big loser. Other films are immediately dead at the box office. Things like Detroit Rock City, that just died. I mean, no one wanted to see it. Teaching Mrs. Tingle, again, opened.
Now,
no
given
money.
that this was such a good summer, did the losers do less bad, or did they do just as bad and the others just did better?
Well, I think it was interesting with the losers, it was clear right away. I mean, movies really make at least 50% of what they're going to make the first weekend.
Wow.
And it was clear with these losers, if they were only making $2 million that first weekend, and that was half of what they were going to make, it wasn't going to be pretty.
It ain't going to be happening. Well, thanks, Leah, for
doing our summer wrap-up, and we'll see you next time. Thanks. You bet. You're watching World News Now. Stay with us, where news is our middle name.
What attracted me to George was his smile. Now that there's just the two of us, I don't know if we're ready for so much undivided attention. You start to notice all the little things, like that shirt he insists on wearing all the time. Maybe I could give it a little resuscitation.
For clothes that are so dingy and stained they're practically unwearable, there's new Tide with activated hydrogen peroxide. It goes beyond leading regular detergents to help rejuvenate your clothes.
I think we're getting the hang of this marriage thing.
Look what's for dinner.
Manwich!
You guys had a long practice today, huh?
Yeah. Your throwing is fantastic.
Well, she gets that from me.
Hey, Mom, can I have another manwich?
Of course.
The sounds of family mealtime, brought to you by Manwich.
I'm a cop. I've got to be in good shape. And I've got to have a lot of energy. Working out is key. But what really helps me is Slim Fast. I've been having a shake for lunch almost every day for the past 9 years. It's quick, it's easy, it's satisfying. Slim Fast is healthy for you. It gives me what I need.
Vitamins, minerals, protein, carbs. It's great nutrition.
I have more endurance during my workout, more stamina. It's my energy drink. It makes me feel great. I love it.
Slim Fast every day. Balanced nutrition for a healthy life.
It works for me. It can work for you.
With AT&T, there are so many ways to communicate, and now, one powerful way to control it all. Introducing AT&T Personal Network, now with AT&T Online Customer Service. Sign up at att.com to bring together your calling card calls, wireless calls, and long-distance calls from home for just 10 cents a minute. And with AT&T Online Customer Service, you're in control of every part of your AT&T account online. Get AT&T Personal Network at the power of E. Sign up at att.com or call.
When Americans take to the road, they generally take stuff.
So we have the stroller, which has to be in the car at all times.
Transports my bike and anybody else that wants to go.
That's why Americans are switching to Chevy Malibu.
Powerful, roomy, comfortable.
Malibu offers a V6 and still costs over $3,000 less than Camry and Accord.
We're very happy we bought the Malibu.
The car you knew America could build. Malibu.
Step into a new Malibu and get 0% APR financing up to 36 months or $1,500 cash back. See your local Chevrolet dealer today.
Look what I got for dinner.
Ooh, manwich!
Daddy, can I start dating? Daddy,
Of course you can start. When you're 28.
Mom, can I have another manwich, please?
Of course, honey.
The sounds of family mealtime, brought to you by Manwich.
It's a rare story that captures the attention of an entire nation and holds it for days on end. In Thailand, the story of one landmine victim has done just that. 38-year-old Matola was badly injured when she stepped on a mine 2 weeks ago. She hobbled for 3 days through the jungle before she could get help. That's when her plight became known to the nation. And for the past week, millions of Thais have been tuning in for regular updates on her condition being broadcast on the national television. With more on her story, here's ABC's Hillary Brown.
Motala is now the most famous patient in Thailand. That's because she's an elephant. She stepped on a landmine while hauling logs on the Burmese border, badly wounding her left front foot. But she was led to this elephant clinic in northern Thailand, the only one in the world, and stood in agony for a week before doctors decided to operate. A hydraulic crane was used to lower her 3-ton body onto the operating table, which was 13 feet long. She was given an amount of anesthetic that was 70 times the normal dose for an adult human. 5 surgeons worked on her for 3 hours as crowds of TV cameramen and well-wishers watched from a distance. Millions watched the operation on TV. Doctors had said her chances of survival were 50%. They said the patient is doing well, though still too weak to eat a breakfast of bananas unassisted. They said Motala should be able to walk again in a few months. But some experts think the operation could be too traumatic for the world's largest mammal.
Elephants are very intelligent. They have emotions. They experience pain. And if a condition is that they feel is very, very severe to them, they'll just kind of pine and waste at the same time.
Matala's story struck a chord in Thailand, where the elephant is sacred. Their numbers have dwindled from 40,000 30 years ago to 5,000 now. Incredibly, many domesticated elephants end up on the streets of Bangkok, scavenging for food, because there's no work for them in the countryside. That's unlikely to be Matala's fate. She's too big a star now. Hillary Brown, ABC News, London.
That is so sad.
All right for her, though, for walking 3 days to get to...
That's the news for this half hour.
Coming up, more news from ABC.
More Americans get their news from ABC News than from any other source. ABCnews.com, now a part of the Go Network.
ABC is America's broadcasting company. And ABC Sports is where more Americans come together for events that turn heroes into legends. Super Bowl 34. The open is right. The Bowl Championship Series. Touchdown for the Yankees. U.S. and World Figure Skating Championships. The Indianapolis 500. ABC Sports, part of America's broadcasting company.
Fabrics you love to live in have one fatal flaw. Put them in the washer and their threads begin to wear. Introducing a breakthrough way to help stop wear. Liquifiber in New Cheer. It interweaves through cotton threads to help protect them, so the clothes you love stay the way you love them. New Cheer. Long live your clothes.
Attention homeowners, is your house old, worn, frayed? Then call Herb Richards, Dr. Rehab. Imagine 300 square feet of vinyl siding or roofing, not $12,000, not $9,000, only $995. Only $995 with no money down. Call 1-800-600-5400. Need money? It's easy. It's simple. Convert your attic, garage, or basement into an income-producing apartment where applicable. With no money down, you could earn up to $1,000 a month, $12,000 a year. Need extra cash? Consolidate. You could save thousands, millions of dollars of financing funds available if you qualify. Don't miss this fabulous vinyl siding or roof special, only $995. That's only $3.33 a square foot. For an absolutely free estimate, call 1-800-600-5400. That's 1-800-600-5400. New York, New Jersey, Connecticut, 1-800-600-5400.
Diana Williams, Channel 7 Eyewitness News.
Hurricane Dennis dances along the East Coast as its center remains out at sea.
From ABC News World Headquarters in New York, this is World News Now.
Optimistic forecasts haven't stopped coastal residents from taking precautions. Hello from New York, I'm Don Daler.
And I'm Lisa Salters. Juju Chang is on assignment. Also coming up in this half hour, this summer's deadly rash of amusement park accidents and a preview of all those back-to-school gadgets. But we begin with the threat of Hurricane Dennis. Don?
That threat has prompted North Carolina Governor Jim Hunt to declare states of emergency and disaster. That frees up any resources needed to deal with Dennis. The storm's outer bands are bringing some strong wind and rain to parts of the North Carolina coast. For the latest, here's ABC News meteorologist Gerard McNiff.
Hurricane warnings are in effect for much of the North Carolina coast this morning as Hurricane Dennis continues to get closer to the southeast coast of North Carolina. As we take a look at the satellite photo, we can see that here is the center of Dennis, and it's now moving to the north and northeast at about 12 miles per hour, a little over 100 miles to the south of Wilmington, North Carolina, and its winds are 105 miles per hour. Taking a look at the radar animation, we clearly see the eye of Hurricane Dennis off to the south of North Carolina. It's moving up, as I said earlier, to the north and northeast, and as we take a look at the track, we'll see that the track takes it off the coast of North Carolina, but not by much. That means hurricane conditions will be felt in places like Morehead City and Wilmington throughout much of today, and a hurricane warning is in effect for that region.
Many coastal residents spent their Sunday preparing for Dennis. Wood was going on the windows of many homes thought to be in the direct path of the storm. Yesterday, officials in Wrightsville Beach imposed an 8 o'clock curfew last night. When all the preparations were finished, it was time to head to higher ground. Evacuations from North Carolina's Outer Banks began yesterday afternoon.
A forecast of high winds in Northern California won't make firefighting there any easier, but crews are getting a handle on brush fires in several western states, including this one in Angeles National Forest. More than 200,000 acres have been burned in the latest fires. To the surprise of no one, the Clintons' summer vacation has turned out to be a lot of work with a little play. The work is fundraising, and the Clintons have been doing a lot of it during their time away from the White House. ABC's Andrea McCarran has more from Long Island, New York.
First Lady Hillary Rodham Clinton came the closest yet to declaring her candidacy for the U.S. Senate when she addressed the crowd at a private fundraiser.
Now I'm stepping forth and asking you for your support and for your help. And that's because I really think it matters who serves in the United States Senate.
Mrs. Clinton not only has the support of her husband, she also has his clout as one of the most successful fundraisers in Democratic Party history.
He could walk into a city and raise $1 million at a drop of a hat.
In fact, the weekend of star-studded events is expected to rake in about $2 million for the Democrats, including about $400,000 for the First Lady's potential candidacy. And Mrs. Clinton is picking up on a strategy initiated by her husband several years ago, using vacation as a political tool. Today, the Clintons leave for Skaneateles, New York, where Republicans outnumber Democrats. While there, the First Lady is expected to speak at the New York State Fair and continue her fundraising efforts. Andrea McCarran, ABC News, Hauppauge, New York.
Christmas may be 4 months off, but Christmas hiring has already begun. A study by the Manpower Temporary Staffing Company found that 30% of the companies it surveyed plan to do more hiring through the end of the year. Just 8% plan to cut their payrolls. Those results indicate that the demand for workers will remain at its highest level in 20 years.
Authorities in New Jersey are investigating a roller coaster accident that killed 2 people at an amusement park on Saturday. That brings to 6 the number of people killed on amusement park rides this summer, leading to questions about whether the excitement is worth the risk. Here's ABC's Jamie Floyd.
Witnesses at Gillian's Wonderland Pier say it looked like a mechanical failure.
I heard this funny noise and I looked up and the car was coming down the track backwards. And just as soon as I seen it, bam, it hit the car that was waiting to go up.
39-year-old Kimberly Bailey and her 8-year-old daughter Jessica were killed. 2 others were hurt.
This accident here in New Jersey comes during what has been a very troubling summer for amusement parks. It is only the latest in a rash of accidents on rides at parks across the country.
This was a smaller ride designed for young children, but the trend is toward roller coasters that are bigger and faster. The latest coasters travel at speeds of up to 100 miles per hour and climb hundreds of feet. At this park in Virginia, a young man plunged to his death after he apparently freed himself of his harness on the Shockwave roller coaster. Industry studies find that 80% of injuries are the result of rider misbehavior. A 12-year-old disabled boy apparently slipped from his safety harness and fell to his death from the drop zone in California. Last week in Vallejo, California, 28 people were stranded, some upside down, when the Boomerang coaster malfunctioned.
The average consumer can't tell whether or not the rides are adequately inspected, whether they're properly assembled, and whether they're being operated safely.
There are 300 million visitors to amusement parks each year, and in a statement the industry said, Americans are safer in an amusement facility than they are traveling to and from it. Some riders remain undaunted.
It's a thrill. It's fun.
I'll be more aware, but I won't be, more afraid.
With injuries up, legislators in California, Texas, and other states are calling for tougher regulation of rides. As of now, states are the only regulators. Amusement parks are free of federal oversight. Jamie Floyd, ABC News, Ocean City, New Jersey.
Weather, we got your weather. Hurricane Dennis continues to bring wind and rain to the Carolina coast. Showers are also in the forecast for the southern Rockies and Northwest. It will be unseasonably cool in the Northeast and Northwest, with highs only in the 80s. Hotter than normal in the northern plains. Now here's the National Temperature Index plus local forecasts as we swim with the dolphins in the Bahamas.
summer. It starts when I see my smile. It parts when I hear you talking to me. My heart, it beats when it's me who I know you love. My mind, it just goes crazy. No, I'm gonna be with you always. 'Cause I ask you if you will hold my hand, and you ask me if I'll kiss you. You want to
World News Now weather, brought to you by Time Life.
Well, I call you back on the telephone 'cause you call me
just to be close to you, girl.
When words are not enough.
Turn off the lights and let's get it.
Say it with body and soul.
Come on to me, baby, like you never done before. Distant love, love.
Presenting the Body and Soul Collection. 24 love songs.
You are my lady.
Get Body and Soul on 2 CDs or 2 cassettes for just $19.99.
Loving you gave me something.
Order with your credit card and get a free album featuring Marvin Gaye. That's 3 albums of sensual music for $19.99.
Baby, come to me, 'cause I love you.
You'll hear great artists like Jeffrey Osborne, Luther Vandross, Freddie Jackson, Patti LaBelle.
only you knew how much
Then audition other Body and Soul albums. Satisfaction guaranteed.
I believe in miracles. Love's a miracle.
Remember, use your credit card and get 3 albums for just $19.99.
Call 1-800-648-2226 to order Body and Soul for only $19.99 plus $3.99 shipping and handling. Use your credit card and receive a free 3rd album. That's 1-800-648-2226. Or send check or money order to Body and Soul, Department 4, Richmond, Virginia, 23280.
countless mornings at the lake. This race could be our big break. Just love that mountain boom boom. Now I'll leave my crew in rhythm we roll as one, racing towards the rising sun. The best part of waking up is Folgers in your cup.
The Atlanta Braves have now won 10 games in a row. They beat the St. Louis Cardinals 4-3 last night. That moves them 3.5 games over the New York Mets for first place in the National League East. Chipper Jones crushed the game-winning home run with 1 out in the 12th inning to give Atlanta the victory. The Braves' winning streak is their longest since they won 13 straight in 1992. The Miami Hurricanes knocked off the Ohio State Buckeyes in yesterday's kickoff classic. In Miami's first drive, running back James Jackson was a steam locomotive running down the track. Nothing was going to bring him back. He went 44 yards for the score. Into the second quarter, Hurricanes QB Kenny Kelly went deep to Santana. Don't call me Carlos Moss. Moss had 3 catches for 115 yards and a touchdown. The Hurricanes blew over the Buckeyes 23-12. Tiger Woods won the NEC Invitational yesterday. Under pressure, he hit this awesome 20-foot birdie on the 17th hole to secure a 1-stroke win over Phil Mickelson. Woods took home the $1 million prize. And former New York Jets defensive back Mark Gastineau is in trouble with the law again. Gastineau was arrested yesterday and charged with second-degree assault for burning his girlfriend with a cigarette lighter. Now a look at the rest of the day's scores.
Summer in the city, black on my neck, getting dirt and gritty. Been down, isn't it a pity? Doesn't seem to be a shadow in the city.
So Lisa is living in Los Angeles right now, but she brought her props for the sports segment, our sunflower seeds, but she's actually a Penn State Nittany Lion.
And Penn State did what?
You tell me.
Crushed Arizona yesterday. Crushed.
You're not at all biased in this.
Oh, yeah, you'll find out. You'll
Great.
find out.
That's sports for this half hour.
When we come back, a primer on the best back-to-school stuff around.
ABC's World News Now will continue after this from our ABC stations.
Got a little crush on you. I would do it, and I just did. Hey, for 5 people to get flowers. There's a little crush. Live in my house and mow my lawn. Interview I've never done. Are a cutie for girl power, America. I'm on the show. This is like drama. My heart went to open. Study Chinese. You never realize the effect you have on kids' lives. So fit. I'm just society. We are responsible for the images that we put out like this, and everyone can make a difference if they let their voice be heard.
A new season of Rosie starts September 7th on ABC 7.
The celebration was tremendous. A new world had been discovered.
We all have stories to tell about growing up in the tri-state area. Eyewitness News is looking for Eyewitness to the Century. If you or a relative has an historical story or experience to share, email us at www.7online.com or send a letter to Eyewitness to the Century, Ansonia Station, P.O. Box 234041, New York, New York 10082. We look forward to telling your story.
Here's a look at some stories we're following this morning. Hurricane Dennis may be gaining strength as it moves along the North Carolina coast, but forecasters expect the worst of the storm to stay out at sea. Still, a state of emergency has been declared. Israeli and Palestinian negotiators met late into the night to try to reach an agreement on West Bank land handovers. Israeli Prime Minister Ehud Barak warns that failure to close a deal may prompt him to carry out the latest peace accord on his own terms. U.S. Ambassador to the UN Richard Holbrooke has met with rival leaders and UN officials in Kosovo. He stressed the need to work toward a multi-ethnic and democratic society there.
Yes, it's a beautiful time of year, late summer. The air is beginning to cool ever so slightly. There's a hint of autumn in the breeze, and in the distance you can sometimes hear the sounds of celebration. That would be the sound of parents rejoicing as their kids return to school. We're going to be celebrating this joyous occasion on World News Now for the next 5 days. Here to help us kick off our back-to-school week is ABC Gadget guy Dick DeBartolo, and he's got some of the best back-to-school stuff, some more things for parents to spend money on.
That's right, but you get them out of the house, so it's a worthwhile investment. You know, we used to have lunch boxes, now we have lunch carriers, okay? This line is from Audix Zone. Actually, it's really neat stuff. This little Audix Zone guy has a little compartment at the bottom where you put fresh fruit or a can of soda, and it won't get crushed. Sandwiches go in the top. This little guy has a separate compartment for the sandwiches. Little ice pack. So you put that in the freezer. It keeps it cool. This side gets the soda. This one, sandwiches there. A little water bottle on the side. Really neat stuff. Even a little sandwich carrier here. Crush-proof interior. Again, this goes in the refrigerator. Only $7 to $14. So some neat stuff from Audix Zone. I'm actually going to put those on the floor.
Now, those are almost more for the parents, don't you think? For them, peace of mind that they have that kind of thing for their kids.
Right, that the kids are going to eat good stuff.
Right.
If you still need a lunch box, Pokemon is very big. This is from Thermos. The Pokemon logo on the outside, Thermos on the inside. This is very high-tech. Very high-tech. Any idea what that is?
I have no idea.
Okay, well, it's a Pringles carrier.
Of course.
Okay,
That's perfect.
You know how Pringles is shaped, so you feel, all right. So
now I have a question for you. Do you have any idea what a Pokemon is?
No, a Pokemon, it's 150 of these things that do stuff.
Okay. Okay. Marketing genius.
Right.
Okay. All right. Batman is back in.
Batman's back in. You know, there's going to be another Batman movie. This guy has little reflectors here.
That's
has a little built-in organizer in the front, place for pens and notes, and a regular backpack in the back. Separate water bottle here.
Great.
Now, this is fascinating. This is from me. This is called the 5-Star XL line. Now, this was introduced a couple of years ago because it was funky and high-tech. But it's a huge seller now, and do you know why?
Because when you have gym clothes, it airs it out on the way home in the bus.
Close. Security. A lot of
course.
It's sort of sad in a way, but now a lot of
That makes
schools
complete
are
sense.
requiring that the security forces can see into the backpack.
Right.
So this is the new mesh backpack, and it's
that is a sad.
It
sign
is
of
a
the
sad
times,
thing.
isn't it?
Okay, a couple of other things from me. You know, when you went to school, did you just have the black and white composition notebook?
Absolutely.
I know. Well, now we have binders. This is where your pen and pencils go.
What is it, like Gore-Tex or something like that?
Really high-tech stuff. Anywhere, the meat stuff is anywhere from $15 to $25. They even make, it's really nice stuff. They even make a little XL,
That's
pencils,
great.
everything goes in there. You get the smaller version. This is really neat for kids who love to make notes in school. I'm going to tell you now what my password is. My password is pizza, okay?
All right.
This little voice is going to say, what's your password?
Your password, please.
Pizza.
Password does not match. Repeat your password.
Pizza.
Welcome back. What's new?
That's so it's a journal, so you can keep your secrets in there.
But it's voice recognition, and did you notice it knew my voice
Right.
and not your voice, even though I told you what my password
that is so great.
It's called Password Journal, and it's $20. That's
$20.
Really, that's really amazing. We're talking
That is
about.
amazing.
I didn't bring in PC for Dummies to promote the Dummies book, which are everywhere. It's posted flags. What's great about posted flags? You can mark portions of books. You can even write on the posted flag. So no more, especially books that you want to pass on to someone else, no more dog-earing the corners, no more writing in the margins. With posted flags, they come like this. They're only about $3 for a bunch
great.
of them. So posted flags are great.
I just want to mention one thing about this.
You want to write your
Because
diary? Dick was so wonderful on the show.
I have a confession to make. Actually, I did read my sister's journal at times, and had she had this kind of technology, but doesn't it look like a well-placed screwdriver would get you into that?
You're a mean brother. And your sister is here. Let's bring it.
I hope she's not watching.
Okay. You know, kids love umbrellas, throw it in the backpack. This is neat. Splash and flash.
That's a great idea. And that's one of the things where you wonder why no one thought
of it before. This is from Totes. It's under $10. Casio has some new algebra math calculators. Let me just turn on the thing here, because I don't understand it at all.
You need a degree to use it.
Exactly. You can go into every sort of math or algebra. What's good about this is getting good reviews because it shows you step by step how it's solving the problem. It just doesn't give you what the answer is. Okay, under $80. Casio calls this computer extender. It's a computer that does math functions, but it also does everything else. It has miniature versions of Microsoft Word. It's Windows CE driven, $400. There's a teacher's version that's $450.
Now, I have to admit, I mean, this kind of a keyboard is too small for my
absolutely.
hands. But maybe for kids in school age, they might be able to use this.
Right, and also just for note-taking or keeping track of where classes are. Jonathan Lawson, perhaps you've heard that name.
Right.
He said, what's new in beepers? Because kids love beepers. Well, a while back we showed Beepware Pro Watch, which has a built-in beeper. But what's neat about this now, this is brand new, it's called Quick Word. The parents at home can type in a message.
Send messages.
Directly to the watch. No more calling the operator. My mother used to send me the answers on the Beepware. Mom's still in jail. Hi, Mom, if you're watching. So that's Beepware Quick Word.
Let me ask you, because we have about a minute left,
Okay.
but on this kind of technology here, have you gotten any kind of response from any concerns over whether kids can use this to cheat? You have a message, you got your watch there, you got the school genius typing in the answers.
It's very funny because there is a product, and I decided not to show it, where kids can send information to each other silently within the classroom. So I decided I'm not going to show it because maybe kids would cheat. This is pretty hard to cheat because how would they know where? Anyway, and Brain Quest finally, questions and answers for kids to practice. It comes 1 to 7 grades, only about $11. So
Flashcards, basically.
It's actually basically flashcards called Brain Quest, and they sold millions of them.
That's great. Terrific stuff.
Thanks. Okay.
A lot of interesting things.
I'll
Thanks
see
a
you,
lot.
I'll see you on the bus.
You will. And you can't get into my journal next time.
Yeah, right. I got to lock this.
Thanks for joining us.
Right.
You're watching World News Now. We'll be back.
Look what I got for dinner.
Sandwich! Daddy, can I start dating? Daddy,
Of course you can start. When you're 28.
Mom, can I have another sandwich, please? Of course, honey.
The sounds of family mealtime, brought to you by Manwich.
This is Unisom Sleep Gels. It helps you sleep. This is Tylenol PM. It helps you sleep too. They both have the exact same amount of the exact same sleep ingredient. But Tylenol PM has added medicine for head, backaches, even fever. Do you have a headache? Backache? Fever? Then why take medicine for it? Take Unisom. It's a safe, non-habit-forming way to fall fast asleep.
When I was fat, I was in this shell. I never wanted to go anywhere. I don't need to hide myself anymore. I lost over 50 pounds with the Slim Fast plan. I've kept it off for 5 years. I'm so full of life. I love to work out, and I drink a shake every day. Delicious. I will never go back.
23 vitamins and minerals, protein, calcium, fiber, all the balanced nutrition like a healthy meal.
Feels so good. Gosh, it's phenomenal.
Slim Fast every day. Balanced nutrition for a healthy life.
I love who I am now.
Let's see which bag has the tighter seal, Glad or this expensive Ziploc slider bag.
Glad to help. My Glad is double locked for extra security.
Ooh, my Ziploc slider is tripping. Wait a minute.
Yep, my Glad makes me feel much more secure.
Excuse me, a little help here?
The double lock green seal, only Glad has it.
I sure am glad I got Glad.
Dripping, dripping.
So what's it gonna be, Glad or Ziploc?
Can I borrow a cup of water?
Don't get mad, get Glad.
Does your skincare product offer incomplete care? Most do. Even some new ones don't offer everything your skin needs most. Now, have it all. Introducing new Oil of Olay Complete. Daily protection against UVA and UVB rays, vitamin E, and Olay Moisture in one complete product. Not some of what you need some of the time. This one has it all. New Oil of Olay Complete. Proven to give your skin everything it needs most to look beautiful.
Look what I got for dinner.
Ooh, sandwich!
Daddy, can I start dating? Daddy,
Of course you can start. When you're 28.
Mom, can I have another sandwich, please?
Of course, honey.
The sounds of family mealtime, brought to you by Manwich.
Last night was the finale of ABC's Who Wants to Be a Millionaire? Our own technical director Jim Reedy is quite a trivia buff, so we wondered how would he have done on the show.
For $250,000 in 1992, which overnight news broadcast rocked your world? Was it Sesame Street? Overnight? World News Now? Ron Popeil's food hydrator demonstration?
I believe that would be C.
Your final answer?
That's my final answer.
That is the correct answer. For $500,000, what was Caligula's horse's name? Atticus, Bucephalus, Incitatus, Flicka.
I think I'll have to use my lifeline on this one.
Who would you like to call?
I'd like to call my good friend Barry Mitchell on this one.
Hello?
Hello, Barry, is that you?
Yeah, who's this?
Barry, it's Jim. I'm on the Millionaire Show.
Yeah, well, I'm on vacation. What do you want?
I need your help, pal.
Okay.
I got a question here.
Hey, did you hear that Kathy Lee's getting her own quiz show? It's called Who Wants to Hear About Cody?
We got 30 seconds here, Barry.
Yeah, go ahead.
What was the name of Caligula's horse? Was it Atticus, Bucephalus, Incitatus, or Flicka?
Mr. Ed's not one of those? I'd have to go with Incitatus.
C. Final answer, yes.
You just won $500,000. And now for the $1 million question. Exactly what is the National Temperature Index? None of your damn business. If we tell you, we'd have to kill you. the square root of the cosine from the tangent of the thingamajig? None of the above.
There's something comfortable about that old familiar routine or habit.
In 21-13, Rick Myra hitting Cedric Ward for the clinching Jets touchdown. The defending NFC champions, the Atlanta Falcons, had a wrestling match with the Baltimore Ravens and a loss to the Ravens. In the third quarter, Baltimore's Stoney Case threw 52 yards to Patrick Johnson, who caught it for the touchdown. Johnson did a dance, which made Atlanta cornerback Ray Buchanan a little unhappy. He threw Johnson to the ground, and then he got thrown from the game. When the game ended up in overtime, Case went long to Justin Armour for a dramatic ending, Baltimore winning 19-13. If it wasn't for last season, Mark McGwire and Sammy Sosa would have looked pretty darn spectacular this year. They finished in St. Louis with the Cubs playing the Cards in a rain-shortened game. McGwire blasted his 65th home run to straightaway center field, 5 short of his 70 of last year, but 4 past Roger Maris's old record. Sosa followed shortly with his home run number 63. But for all their feats, both of their teams had awful seasons, and the game itself was meaningless. It had some meaning, however, for the very popular Willie McGee, who has said he will likely retire after this season. He was called on to pinch hit into a double play, and he got a standing ovation nevertheless as the Cards won 9-5. That's the sports for now.
You know, there are a lot of these athletes who are running for president or for other political office.
Well, Warren Beatty's an athlete of sorts.
We've got Jesse Ventura, right?
Right.
You're right. They're not all running for president. Arnold Schwarzenegger, former bodybuilder, says he's interested. Gary
Johnson. He can't run for president, though, because he wasn't born here.
Very good point.
Yeah, but
you're like our constitutional scholar and
But I think right now,
sidekick
actually, that Steve Young from the San Francisco 49ers, who suffered a concussion a week ago, he should stop playing football. He wants to be a politician. Let him go run. I think he can pass better than Jack Kemp, and now we can find out whether or not he could run.
Jack Kemp is another great example of another athlete. But this man is an Iron Man, according to Time magazine. Gary Johnson of New Mexico wants to run as well. Lots of athletes becoming.
Oh, Watts is in Congress. Largent is in Congress. And of
Steve
course,
Largent,
the greatest
former
athlete
quarterback
of them
for the
all.
Seattle Seahawks.
The greatest athlete of them all, Strom Thurmond. I think that's all the sports for this half hour. And the news.
Although I do know he lifts weights. I read that once in a
That's
profile
exactly
of him.
what I meant. I'm so
and
glad.
bicycling.
I'm so glad you picked that up.
But the bicycle isn't going anywhere. It's stationary when we
and
come
so
back.
is he sometimes.
When we come back, playing with toys. Man toys, that is.
Remove 100% of dust mites and a lot of the pollen. That's new from Hoover. As low as $149. That's called CaddyVac. This is called Secure Start. This is really neat.
ABC's World News Now will continue after this from our ABC stations.
Nothing is changing. Everything's wrong. Pain is healing, and tears sting like alcohol. Oh, just keep on there breathing. We'll help you down a long, long road back home. Before someone kicked in the door, there's open sleeve. Stay back where you belong. Before you were born, someone kicked in the door. You will help you stay back long, long. Before you were born, someone kicked in the door. We'll help you stay back long, long. Before you were born, someone kicked in the door. We'll help you down the long road.
And here are some of the stories we're following this morning. Vice President Al Gore is standing by his friend and campaign chairman, Tony Coelho. A State Department report accuses Coelho of financial misconduct in an unpaid job representing the U.S. overseas. Parents are rallying in support of striking teachers in Yonkers, New York. School has been canceled for the 26,000 students while teachers strike over longer class periods and shorter breaks. And the Census Department says a growing number of Americans have no health insurance. 44 million were uninsured last year, about 1 million more than the previous year. Young adults and part-time workers are the most likely to lack coverage.
If Microsoft makes software, I presume Micro-Hard makes hardware. As you can tell, my knowledge of hardware is severely limited. But Dick DeBartolo, who is not related to the San Francisco 49ers, he has unlimited knowledge. He's been to the National Hardware Show, and he's here to share his knowledge and his tools.
Some great stuff, yeah. There were 66,000 retailers who went to search 12 miles of aisles to find stuff that we'll buy between now and Christmas.
I like miles of aisles. That has a ring to it.
Miles of aisles. Yes. Vacuums are still a big seller, so companies are always coming up with new ways to enhance vacuum cleaners. This is new from Hoover. They call it CaddyVac. It's the slide-on, slide-off tool caddy. So if you're doing a complete household job, you take everything with you. If you're just doing some rugs, you slide the caddy off, hang it on the closet where the vacuum was, and just use the vacuum cleaner.
Well, in England, you know, they still use hoovering as a verb.
As a verb,
so
exactly.
Will they start saying caddying?
They might. In England, they might.
Yeah, but in Scotland, caddying will still be caddying.
And it has a 4-stage filter to remove 100% of dust mites and a lot of the pollen. That's new from Hoover. As low as $149. That's called CaddyVac. This is called Secure Start. This is really a neat guy. This goes in the trunk of your car. This is the latest in battery technology called thin metal film. Has a little flashlight here, but the important thing is this little light. It's green. That means if your battery is dead, take this out under the hood. This goes on to the positive side of your battery. This goes on to any bare metal under the car hood or your RV motorcycle, and this will start your car.
I don't have a car. It won't start my car.
We'll buy you a car. It stays charged for a year. And after you use it, you can recharge it from an AC outlet, comes with an adapter, or from your car. $99 went on sale just 2 days ago at Sears, also being the Neiman Marcus catalog.
I just want the flashlight part.
Just
to keep the rest.
Okay. That's an expensive flashlight. It's about $99. This is new from First Alert. It's a carbon monoxide alarm. What's neat about this guy, since an alarm is not sounding now, the window is just showing that it's on. But if you have a carbon monoxide alert, it'll actually hold the highest number when the alarm went off. So if you call emergency people and they come in and they go, we don't detect carbon monoxide in here, you just hit the peak level indicator, and in that window, it'll tell you what the level got up to.
Well, carbon monoxide is odorless, right?
It's odorless, and you'll never know it's in the house.
So it's sort of like vodka. I mean, you can have a vodka, you know.
This doesn't detect that.
Oh, okay. But I can.
Okay. First Alert, about $45, and that's on sale now. This is from Zircon. This is called the eye sensor. This little guy is a stud finder. Oh, it works.
Boy, does it not work.
The amazing thing about this, about the size of a candy bar, well, and we put it up. You know, we asked props to make us a big wall.
That's
so
a
this
lie
is the
detector
prop wall. So it has a little thing called True Cal. It's a little hard to do it from this angle, but you run it across, and when you get to the stud, it lights up green. Then you do it from the other side, find the center. That's where you want to hang pictures because you know you're nailing into wood. And the great thing about eye sensor, by the way, it comes in lots of colors, and it's going to be under $10. That'll be out between now and the end of October, okay?
Can I walk around with this and say the end of the world is near, the end of the world is near? No.
We'll write it on for you, okay? This is from Zelco, and it's called LumaLock XL. This is great at the airport. You're reading the newspaper, and you're not watching your luggage. Well, you should be watching your luggage. Push up on this, and a 55-inch stainless steel aircraft cable comes out. You run that through your luggage, or if you have skis, run it through the skis, whatever you want to protect. Then you lock it in place. Also, if it's dimly lit where you are, it lights up the combination so you can undo the cable and pull it out.
Or if you have a child traveling with you, you can wrap it around the child.
If you feel that way about
around the ankle, preferably,
about the child, you can. That'll be out in time for Christmas. That's going to run around $20 to $25. Food Tool is also from Zelco. This is a neat guy for picnics. There's your bottle opener there. Slide this guy out, and there's your knife. Slide the other guy out. There's your can opener and a screwdriver. Open this guy up in the middle. There is your corkscrew. pop these little guys out at the end, your salt and pepper shakers. So that's everything you forget when you go on a picnic, okay? That's called food.
I usually forget the food.
I'm not picnicking.
It's got everything else but that.
I'm not picnicking with you, okay? Food tool is from Zelco, and that's going to be about $30, and that'll be out also in time for Christmas. This little guy here, I'm going to turn this on, and there we are. This is completely wireless speaker for the backyard. You can go up to 300 feet from the sound source. You can plug it in the TV, listen to TV sound out in the yard. That's from Advent. That's about $100. Let me just find that little off switch here. And we have two other guys here. This little guy is, you ride on airplanes and that dinky little overhead light. Well, this is from Lumitech, and it's called Night Scribe, and it's a ball pen that lights up with two little LEDs, only $8. And our final guy is called Flip Grip. This is really neat. This is 21 tools in one. Pliers that way, flip it over, long nose pliers. All the separate little tools are down in here. And open this side, and you have your screwdrivers and your Phillips heads. Put those guys in there. Use the tool this way, turn it. About $30. Okay, is any of this, are you going to go home now and do a construction?
That doesn't look like it would do more than 20 different tools.
Well, you want to count them? Okay. This is the man who doesn't bring food to a picnic.
Dick DeBartolo, thank you for being with us.
2 times.
You're watching World Hardware Now.
If you're gonna laugh, laugh. If you're gonna dig in, dig in. Warm, rich, rousing baked apple. One of the new sensations from Quaker Oatmeal. Just don't hold back.
Sweet dreams are made of these. Who am I to disagree?
In the 80s, rock music changed forever.
Shake it up. Shake it up.
Presenting modern rock. 24 new wave classics. Get modern rock on 2 CDs or 2 cassettes for just $12.99.
Turning Japanese, I think I'm turning Japanese, I really think so. Turning Japanese, I think I'm turning Japanese, I really think so. I want candy. I want candy. In a big country, dreams stay with you like a lover's voice past the mountainside. I'm on a Mexican radio. I'm on a Mexican radio. You're too shy, shy, hush, hush, I do I. Too shy, shy.
Then audition other modern rock albums. Satisfaction guaranteed.
I know what boys like. I know what guys
So call now for modern rock on 2 CDs or 2 cassettes for just $12.99.
To order Modern Rock, call 1-800-959-9009 or send $12.99 for 2 cassettes or 2 CDs, plus $3.99 shipping to Modern Rock, Department 1, Richmond, Virginia. Call 1-800-959-9009. Call now.
While some folks couldn't sleep, you were peacefully sleeping thanks to new Simply Sleep from the makers of Tylenol PM. It's non-habit forming and eases you into a restful night's sleep. New Simply Sleep.
Imagine someone in a confined space with people who start off as strangers but who soon become closely intimate, and their only contact with the outside world is through a TV camera that lets the world watch their every move 24 hours a day. It's a troubling prospect, and we're not just talking about MSNBC, or CNN for that matter. It's even worse in the Netherlands, as we hear now.
consider this separate from the normal monetary policy if it need to be?
Well, they would they would tighten policy if they felt that there were inflation concerns. They are guaranteeing banks that they can have access to liquidity if they need it. And so, so they've essentially told the banks, don't worry about Y2K. If you need money, if there are problems, we'll be there to give you the funds. And so they're all set on that aspect. The one thing Greenspan said was that he's more worried about thievery if people take a lot of money out than the health of the financial system.
Great. Thank you so much. Gerald Cohen, senior economist with Merrill Lynch. We really appreciate you being here this morning.
Thank you.
More news coming up. You're watching ABC's World News This Morning.
This morning's business brought to you by American Express. World News This Morning will continue in a moment on this Monday morning, August 30th. Stay with us.
We started this business with a green thumb, a vivid imagination,
and a lot of hard work.
But before long, I could see we needed help, financial help.
So I called American Express Small Business Services.
They helped us with equipment financing so we could keep on growing.
And with the corporate card, we finally got a handle on expenses.
1-800-SUCCESS was the best call we ever made.
With American Express, we've learned what it's like to have a partner you can count on.
And a brother.
It's allergy season again. So what do doctors prescribe for itchy, watery allergy eyes like yours?
Patanol.
Patanol. More than any other prescription allergy eye drop?
Patanol.
Patanol works fast. In just minutes.
And it lasts 8 hours. It really works.
Some people may experience headache, burning, or stinging. Take your contacts out before use.
Bye-bye, allergy eyes.
Patanol. Works in minutes. Lasts 8 hours.
What attracted me to George was his smile. Now that there's just the two of us, I don't know if we're ready for so much undivided attention. You start to notice all the little things, like that shirt he insists on wearing all the time. Maybe I could give it a little resuscitation.
For clothes that are so dingy and stained they're practically unwearable, there's new Tide with activated hydrogen peroxide. It goes beyond leading regular detergents to help rejuvenate your clothes.
I think we're getting the hang of this marriage thing.
Feeling down? Overwhelmed? Now, to help you lift your spirits and look on the bright side naturally, there's Quanterra Emotional Balance. I used to think all St. John's worts were alike, but they're not. The extract in Quanterra was clinically proven effective by doctors. And research suggests it regulates neurotransmitters affecting emotional wellness. New Quanterra Emotional Balance. There is light at the end of the tunnel. If it's not clinically proven, it's not Quanterra.
Good morning. I'm Don Dahler in New York. These are the headlines at this hour from ABC News. Hurricane Dennis remains out at sea, but its wind and rain are felt on the North Carolina coast. Residents and tourists have fled to higher ground. U.S. Ambassador to the UN Richard Holbrooke visits Kosovo and calls the Yugoslav province the ultimate test of whether the UN can make peace. And Israeli and Palestinian negotiators continue trying to reach agreement on implementing the Wye River Accord before Secretary of State Albright arrives in the Mideast this week. Congressional Democrats and Republicans alike are calling for a full investigation into what happened during the 1993 siege at the Branch Davidian compound. The controversy centers around why the latest revelations about Waco weren't known sooner. Here's ABC's Lauren Rogers.
6 years after the standoff with the Branch Davidians ended, the FBI's admission that it used flammable tear gas grenades has fanned the flames of government conspiracy once again.
We still don't know all the facts here, and I know there are a lot of people, really hundreds of thousands of people, concerned about whether this has been a big cover-up by the Justice Department and even the FBI.
The FBI says on the final day of the operation, a limited number of pyrotechnic canisters were fired, but not at the compound that burned down. Former FBI agents who were involved in the 51-day operation insist David Koresh and his followers started the fire themselves.
There were no other pyrotechnics based on the information that I have that were used at any time on the wooden structure itself. I am 100% convinced that the FBI did not cause that fire in there.
Attorney General Janet Reno has said she did not know the flammable tear gas was used, and she's promised a full investigation. But Republicans say this information should have been revealed much earlier.
She said the buck stops here 6 years ago. And she's the person in charge of making sure that those 80-some people that were killed and the things behind that are made available to the American people.
Both the Justice Department and Congress are promising to investigate once again what really happened at the Branch Davidian compound. Lauren Rogers, ABC News, Washington.
Here's a look at some of the events making news in the day ahead. In Los Angeles, Buford Furrow, who is accused of opening fire at a Jewish community center and also killing a postal worker, will be arraigned on federal charges. Joseph Califano, head of Columbia University's Center on Addiction and Substance Abuse, will release its annual survey on teen drug abuse. Also in Washington, the results of an NCAA-sponsored survey on hazing in college sports will be released today. It's the first of its kind. And in Liverpool, England, is the site of massive Beatlenium party to relaunch the Beatles film The Yellow Submarine. 180 tribute bands are performing. In New York, this is Don Daler for ABC News. More news ahead.
You have to wonder what business that leading specialty coffee chain is really in.
Of a large black. How's this?
But what if instead of all that other stuff, you want simply great tasting coffee? Try Millstone. We make coffee our only specialty. That's why we slow roast choice Arabica beans for a smooth taste that's not over roasted. It's preferred nearly 2 to 1.
These are very popular.
Millstone whole bean coffee. Available at your grocer.
Used to be, if I want something done right, I called me. It worked. Until I tried to quit smoking. I needed more than me. I got Nicorette. Nicorette helped me 2 ways. I used it on a regular schedule to help prevent my cravings, and for unexpected cravings, I was ready with an extra piece. I used to be a slave to cigarettes. Nicorette helped me hang on, helped me win. Now that I'm nicotine-free, I gotta tell you, it feels good to win.
Now Nicorette is available in mint. What a refreshing choice. You can do it. Nicorette can help.
You know, I bet I drive more than a race car driver. Of course, I only go a few hundred feet. You can tell a lot about someone from the inside of their car or truck. Like how tall they are, or the other things they'd rather spend their money on. Hang on, Roscoe.
Our lifetime guarantee means you'll never pay twice for any covered repair. GM Good Range Service Plus. It's for life.
Having a family vehicle you can count on is important. For people, and for alligators.
Puff's Back to School 3-pack not only gives you stronger tissues than the leading regular brand, it gives your kids a chance to win a week at the U.S. Space Camp and free space stickers in every pack. Cosmic.
You can't start the day without absolutely pure Tropicana Pure Premium.
Well, to the surprise of no one, the Clintons' summer vacation has turned out to be a lot of work with a little play. The work is fundraising, and the Clintons have been doing a lot of it during their time away from the White House. ABC's Andrea McCarran has more from Long Island, New York.
First Lady Hillary Rodham Clinton came the closest yet to declaring her candidacy for the U.S. Senate when she addressed the crowd at a private fundraiser.
Now I'm stepping forth and asking you for your support and for your help. And that's because I really think it matters who serves in the United States Senate.
Mrs. Clinton not only has the support of her husband, she also has his clout as one of the most successful fundraisers in Democratic Party history.
He could walk into a city and raise $1 million at a drop of a hat.
In fact, the weekend of star-studded events is expected to rake in about $2 million for the Democrats, including about $400,000 for the First Lady's potential candidacy. And Mrs. Clinton is picking up on a strategy initiated by her husband several years ago, using vacation as a political tool. Today, the Clintons leave for Skaneateles, New York, where Republicans outnumber Democrats. While there, the First Lady is expected to speak at the New York State Fair and continue her fundraising efforts. Andrea McCarran, ABC News, Hauppauge, New York.
At least 16 NFL players reportedly failed drug tests in 1995, but they were never disciplined because of a secret agreement between the Players Union and the league. The New York Times says that under league rules, the players should have been suspended. The agreement was reportedly part of negotiations between the union and the league over a new drug policy that went into effect in 1996. For the latest on the pennant races and the rest of sports, here is ESPN.
Hello and welcome to the ESPN Newsroom. I'm Dave Feldman. The NFL season is near and the first weekend of college football is complete. But we start with Major League Baseball, and we start with the hottest team in the majors, the Atlanta Braves, winners of 9 straight, heading into Sunday night's meeting with the Cardinals. But we're not talking about Big Mac right now. We're talking about Chipper Jones. A game tied at 3 in the 12th is tied no more. Number 34 for Chipper. Braves win 4-3 in 12, and they have won 10 in a row. Cubs, Dodgers. Sammy. See ya. Number 54. This one off Darren Dreifert. Sosa now leads McGuire by 3 home runs. Cubs win 6-0. The D-backs have won 12 of 14. Luis Gonzalez drove in 4 runs. The Astros lead the Reds by a game and a half in the NL Central. Padres win, but they lost Tony Gwynn. He went out in the 5th inning due to fluid buildup in his knee. Pat Rapp won his 4th straight decision. The Red Sox lead the A's by 1 in the wild card race. Ricky Leday hit an inside-the-park home run as the Yanks have won 6 of 7. The Blue Jays lose their 9th straight at home. And Albert Bell equaled an Oriole record with a career-high 4 doubles. Football news, and Jerry Jones was arrested Sunday when he drove off with his family before a police officer could finish writing out a speeding ticket. The Cowboys owner and his family were on their way to church. The official charge is fleeing. It's a Class B misdemeanor. Meanwhile, the Cowboys at home hosting the Broncos. And Troy Aikman and Emmitt Smith are both still there. In fact, Emmitt is 30 years old, spinning like a teenager. 29 yards for a touchdown, and the Cowboys win 22-12. Miami and Ohio State, the kickoff classic. 20 seconds left in the first half. Ken Kelly throws it up, and Santana Moss comes down with it. Miami in an upset over Ohio State, 23-12. In the WNBA, both the Comets and the Liberty won at home. Both conference finals are even at 1 game. The decisive Game 3s will be played on Monday nights. And we thank you for joining us. That's all from the ESPN Newsroom. I'm Dave Feldman. We'll go back now to World News This Morning.
It's week number 4 at the top for The Sixth Sense. The Bruce Willis thriller grossed $20 million this weekend, becoming only the 3rd movie in history to earn more than $20 million for 4 straight weeks. Coming in second was The 13th Warrior, starring Antonio Banderas. And running away with the 3rd spot, Runaway Bride, the Richard Gere, Julia Roberts romantic comedy. More news coming up. This is ABC News World News This Morning.
This portion of the news brought to you by Chevy Malibu. You're watching ABC News from New York on this Monday morning, August 30th. More news coming up.
When Americans take to the road, they generally take stuff.
We have the stroller, which has to be in the car at all times.
Transports my bike and anybody else that wants to go.
That's why Americans are switching to Chevy Malibu.
Powerful, roomy, comfortable.
Malibu offers a V6 and still costs over $3,000 less than Camry and Accord.
We're very happy we bought the Malibu.
The car you knew America could build. Malibu.
Step into a new Malibu and get 0% APR financing up to 36 months or $1,500 cash back. See your local Chevrolet dealer today.
Early light breaks through, music and dance calling you. Just need that mountain grown lift before you share your gift. Now there's rhythm and sound, making their hearts pound. The best part of waking up is Folgers in your cup.
I work out to keep my body in shape. To help keep my mind sharp, I take Quantera Ginkgo biloba. It helps me concentrate, maintain focus. Why Quantera? All ginkgos aren't the same. The patented Quantera extract was proven safe and effective by doctors in extensive clinical trials. And it increases oxygen supply to the brain. With Quantera mental sharpness, I feel my best, naturally. If it's not clinically proven, it's not Quantera.
Tonight, we are eating out in, and that means, cafe classics from Lean Cuisine. Ooh. It's like the restaurant experience without looking for parking. Beef portobello with roasted garlic. Or how about shrimp with angel hair pasta and red peppers? This is good. I know. Can we eat here tomorrow? Well, I don't know if I can get a reservation. Can you get us a better table? Yeah, sure. Garçon. Stouffer's Lean Cuisine. It's not just lean, it's cuisine.
And now, World News This Morning continues. Once again, here's Don Daler sitting in today for Juju Chang.
Millions of people in Thailand are breathing a sigh of relief as news spreads about the improving health of one of the country's biggest celebrities. Doctors say the newly famous Matala is showing signs of strength today. ABC News' Hillary Brown has her unusual story.
Matala is now the most famous patient in Thailand. That's because she's an elephant. She stepped on a landmine while hauling logs on the Burmese border, badly wounding her left front foot. But she was led to this elephant clinic in northern Thailand, the only one in the world, and stood in agony for a week before doctors decided to operate. A hydraulic crane was used to lower her 3-ton body onto the operating table, which was 13 feet long. She was given an amount of anesthetic that was 70 times the normal dose for an adult human. 5 surgeons worked on her for 3 hours as crowds of TV cameramen and well-wishers watched from a distance. Millions watched the operation on TV. Doctors had said her chances of survival were 50%. They said the patient is doing well. They said Matala should be able to walk again in a few months. But some experts think the operation could be too traumatic for the world's largest mammal. Matala's story struck a chord in Thailand, where the elephant is sacred. Their numbers have dwindled from 40,000 30 years ago to 5,000 now. Incredibly, many domesticated elephants end up on the streets of Bangkok, scavenging for food, because there's no work for them in the countryside. That's unlikely to be Matala's fate. She's too big a star now. Hillary Brown, ABC News, London.
Looking ahead to World News Tonight, the increase in risky sexual behavior among the young. Watch World News Tonight with Peter Jennings. And of course, please stay tuned for Good Morning America. I'm Don Daler. Thanks for watching World News This Morning. Have a great day.
A new season of Rosie starts September 7th on ABC 7.
This is the news leader, ABC 7 Eyewitness News.
These are the stories making headlines on this Monday, August 30th, 1999. The Carolinas are feeling a sting from Hurricane Dennis. While predicting the storm has proven difficult, residents have been evacuated from the Outer Banks.
Organizers for the Million Youth March head back to court this morning. They're still seeking a permit for a controversial rally scheduled for next week.
And Hillary Rodham Clinton is sounding more like a Senate candidate after the First family drums up more than $1 million in the Hamptons.
Good morning, everyone. We're so glad you're starting your day with us. I'm Nancy Liu.
And I'm David Usher. We've got lots to tell you about today, but first, let's get right to Bill Evans, get your first look at our forecast this morning. Bill.
Good morning, David and Nancy. This morning we're looking at temperatures really mild across the area and windy too. 54 from Newburgh to right around 55 degrees, White Plains, 61 JFK, 66 down the shore. We're going to have gorgeous weather for just about the next 3 days. It's going to feel like fall. We're going to be around 64 by 8 o'clock this morning. It'll be windy right on through noon, right on into the afternoon. So we'll see temperatures very mild throughout the afternoon. We'll probably hit 75 about 2 o'clock today. However, we cannot ignore that Hurricane Dennis, with winds at Category 2 level, 105 miles per hour, still looming off the Carolina coast. The eye is now moving north-northeast, the center of the storm, and we expect to see that brushing the Outer Banks of North Carolina in the next 24 to 48 hours. But its path after that is a little tricky, and I'm going to talk about that coming up in just a few minutes. Back downstairs to you.
All right, Bill, thank you very much. Let's talk about what's more immediately in its path. Hurricane Dennis keeps on swinging, and even if he never lands a direct punch on the North Carolina coast, he's still whipping up waves and wind, and all of that fury at sea still presents a serious danger. ABC's Dean Staley has the latest from Atlantic Beach.
Even though Hurricane Dennis is still out to sea, its effect is being felt up and down the North Carolina coast. With bands of wind and rain radiating 200 miles from its center, Dennis doesn't have to hit land to cause problems. All night long, tropical force winds, heavy rain, and high surf have pounded Myrtle Beach. But this is hurricane season in hurricane country, and many North Carolinians know what to expect.
Clouds and the rain and the high surf and the high water, but you're not threatened by it. And this is one of those hurricanes.
But in case Dennis does turn inland, every precaution has been taken. Sunday, residents and visitors were given the order to evacuate the Outer Banks and other barrier islands. Shelters have been set up inland, but so far, few people have needed them.
I'd rather be in a safe place than not to be one.
But not everyone is choosing the safe approach, so police are choosing for them.
If there's anything we need to maybe get out of the water that's out surfing this late at night, we do have swimmers out. We have people right down the amber water.
To this group from Chicago, a hurricane is a natural wonder.
Here we are! You don't see this on Lake Michigan? Don't see this on Michigan, no.
But those who have seen a hurricane at its worst are hoping this is as close as they get to Hurricane Dennis.
People in the Carolinas got some welcome news yesterday when forecasters began predicting that the eye of Hurricane Dennis would not make landfall. Today, they are watching the storm very closely, hoping that Dennis continues its eastern track. Dean Staley, ABC News, Atlantic Beach, North Carolina.
Our other major story, with less than a week to go, the controversy over this year's Million Youth March heads back to court this morning. Organizer Khalid Muhammad wants to force the city to grant a permit for the march planned for Saturday in Harlem. Michelle Charlesworth has the latest. She's live in Lower Manhattan. Michelle?
Good morning, Nancy. Well, city attorneys plan to use march organizers' own words against them because free speech does not protect threats of violence or calls to overthrow the government. Now, according to the city, at last year's Million Youth March, speakers crossed the line. Attorneys for the Million Youth March returned to federal court this morning to argue they have a First Amendment right to rally. For the past week, the organizer, Khalid Muhammad, has been fighting Mayor Giuliani and even black leaders who have come out against him. On Friday, attorneys for the march contended they have a right to march this year because last year the Second Circuit Court supported their constitutional right to rally in Harlem. They contend the mayor doesn't get it.
The mayor has a beef, a personal vendetta against Khalid Muhammad. He has a contradiction with young, assertive black and Latino people, and he's trying to hide that.
But the city's attorneys point to what was said and what happened at last year's rally as the best proof for denying a permit. The rally ended, you'll remember, with a clash with police in which 28 people were injured.
This is not an educational event. This is not a youth event. This is a hate event. And behavior such as urging violence, urging killing, saying that we're going to have an event with or without a permit, with or without a court order, is not something that's protected by the First Amendment.
Last year's march, permitted by federal court, was actually a rally, not a march, limited to 4 hours on 6 blocks of Malcolm X Boulevard. We are live at federal court. Michelle Charlesworth, ABC 7 Eyewitness News.
Michelle, thank you. The sole survivor of a plane crash at Sussex County Airport is out of surgery at this hour and in critical condition. State police say the plane carrying 3 people was taking off from the airport in Wantage last night when it clipped a tree and went down. 2 people were pronounced dead at the scene. Federal aviation investigators are looking into the cause. And the investigation continues into the roller coaster accident in Ocean City that killed a woman and her 8-year-old daughter from Rockland County. Kimberly Bailey and her daughter Jessica died Saturday when the coaster car slid backward down a 30-foot rise. It smashed into a car waiting to begin the ride. The victims were thrown from their car. The accident is the latest in a rash of accidents that has killed 4 people in the last week.
The vacationing First family heads upstate from the Hamptons today, and the war chest for Hillary Clinton's expected Senate campaign is a lot heavier. The president wowed East End crowds, but Hillary's work was more up close and personal, with one intimate fundraiser costing $25,000 a couple. She raised an estimated $400,000 for herself and $1.7 million for the Democratic Party.
Let's get your first check on the Monday morning commute. Good morning, Joe Nolan.
Hey, good morning. We're starting out a little bit of a problem now as you begin to travel out onto actually both directions on 1 and 9 and Elizabeth by Flora Street. Now, this would be a little bit below North, and as you start to get southbound on 1 and 9, both directions going to be closed down. Bad accident there. They're in the process of getting that cleared up and out of the way, and that would be in Elizabeth. Now, let's check a look at the cameras here. Southern State. Wow, look how dark it is. Southern State Parkway in both directions here. Very, very light traffic as you start to come through Peninsula Boulevard, and this is will be one of the lightest traffic weeks of the year. It always is. And on Staten Island, a little bit of a problem getting onto the Staten Island Expressway from the West Shore, but here getting onto the bridge, you're good, and on its side is in effect. For Eyewitness News, I'm Joe Nolan.
All right, Joe, thank you.
New problems for a familiar face. Time now, 5:37, and just ahead on this Monday morning edition of Eyewitness News, a former star with the Jets is again in trouble with the law.
And coming up, pharmacies have found the prescription for big business. We'll tell you about that. Stay with us.
You're watching the news leader, ABC 7 Eyewitness News, with Nancy Liu, David Ushery, Art McFarland with sports, Bill Evans with the AccuWeather forecast, and the Eyewitness News team.
Tonight at 7, right here on ABC 7.
Chevrolet cars are trusted by more Americans than any other. Chevy trucks are the most dependable, longest lasting on the road. If that's not enough reason to own a Chevrolet car or truck, then this definitely is. The great summer drive-in from Chevrolet. Lease a new 1999 four-wheel drive Chevy Silverado, Motor Trend Truck of the Year, for only $299 a month for 36 months. Call for important lease details. It's Chevrolet's great summer drive-in. See your local Chevrolet dealer today.
We had a lot of credit card bills.
We just weren't sure about the right thing to do.
If you're a homeowner and you call 1-800-CHAMPION for our Pay Down Your Debt program, we have something that will help.
We call it our Possibilities Profile.
We'll show you options you probably never considered.
Which bills to pay to save the most money? Paying off your home sooner, funding retirement, education.
I show my customers how Pay Down Your Debt can help them today and 5 years down the road. We were impressed.
Shouldn't you know all your possibilities? When your bank says no, Champion says yes.
Closed caption funding provided by your Chrysler and Plymouth dealers.
Right now, a lot of the merchandise at Linens and Things has been significantly reduced. Get 25 to 70% off items all over the store at our huge clearance sale going on now.
Hey, this isn't my Accord.
No, but it's a great night for a Century test drive.
What about our Moonlit Drive?
Let's flip a coin. Okay, I'll take shotgun.
So, what do you think?
It's kind of stuffy in here.
Well then, Brandy, you'll appreciate the dual climate control, standard traction control, ABS.
Our Accord doesn't have that.
And Accord LX also doesn't have a wife as delicate as a flower.
What?
It doesn't have standard V6 power. What I said there.
And now there's never been a better time to zero in on a Buick with 0% APR GMAC financing or $1,500 cash back on Century.
Isn't this romantic?
Reminds me of your honeymoon.
Good morning to you. It is 5:40 right now.
And it is considerably cooler outside this morning, Bill.
Feels like fall outside, doesn't it? Mm-hmm. Wind's coming out of the northeast. Feels great outside, really, I think. It's just absolutely wonderful. Clear skies, breezy, windy. Of course, it is from Hurricane Dennis that we're getting this wind, and we'll tell you all about it this morning. But it's a pretty morning. Going to be a cool morning for your start, too. We're right around 62 degrees, and we have clear skies. And by the way, the Brooklyn Bridge, I do believe, is still closed until 6 o'clock. You know, they've been doing repairs, of course, for the last several months. That will be reopening soon. And we'll see a pretty morning and a gorgeous sunrise that we'll see in just about, a half hour from now. Here's our current temperature, 61 in the park. Humidity dry, 62%. The winds continue to be mostly out of the east-northeast at about 10, gusting up to 20. The barometer has been rising across the area. And you see our sunrise and our sunset for the day today. 6:20 is when it's going to rise across the area. All right, let's get a look at what's going on. We take a look at some satellite pictures this morning, and we'll show you down along the East Coast. This is Hurricane Dennis. Winds are 100 miles per hour. You can see the eyes just off the coast. Now, it's starting to move a little more north-northeast. Eventually today, it'll be moving northeast, with the eye skirting the outer banks of North Carolina. Now, where it goes after that, well, that's a tad tricky because actually the upper air patterns, one trough should go by, and that should probably hold it into the area through the end of the week and give us just like 3 or 4 days of rainy weather. It could stall right in here. But you can see the eye still off the coast now, about 100 miles just off the coast there of the Outer Banks of North Carolina. The storm will continue moving northeast through the afternoon. It is a Category 2 storm with winds at 100 miles per hour now, down 5 miles per hour from an hour ago. But as it keeps moving north-northeast at 12, it'll curve a little more out. We're seeing some high thin clouds from that system this morning. The high clouds are coming in off of southern and northern central New Jersey. It will continue kind of that much pattern throughout the day with the high clouds just kind of raking across. We'll have sunshine, windy conditions, dry weather for about the next 3 days. So we'll get some high clouds shearing off of that system, but no precipitation. One thing we will certainly get is riptides all week long. It'll feel like fall today, 75 the high with gusty winds out of the northeast, right around 20 miles per hour. It'll be sunny tomorrow, 77, still windy. The storm's still to the south of us. We probably will not see any precipitation from the system until about Thursday or Friday, but the storm could kind of sit in the area at that point through the afternoon hours on Thursday, lasting into Friday and Saturday, giving us rain with the eye just off the coast. The upper pattern is such that when a trough goes by in the northeast, usually it would pick up a storm and carry it out to sea. That's probably not the case. What we were looking at for the rest of this week would probably be a heat wave. But with the storm in the area and cloudy skies, we'll have temperatures that are going to be mostly in the 70s into the weekend. So here's your AccuWeather forecast for today. We'll have a great day. Sunshine, very nice. Windy. High is going to be 75. Tonight, a clear night, cool and windy, 58 in the city, 50 in the suburbs. Tomorrow, just a tad warmer, but we'll still have rough surf all week. Riptides, high seas. Seas are going to be about 6 to 8 feet out in the Atlantic waters, about 2 to 3 feet in Long Island Sound. We'll be up to 81 on Wednesday. Thursday is when we could see some rain from Dennis coming in, and then Friday could be a rainy day. Saturday could be a rainy day. All depends on the path of that storm. It looks like it's just going to keep kind of meandering up the coast, moving out northeast, the eye staying off into the Atlantic, but yet we'll get some effects from that as it pushes into the area.
So our waters are dangerous.
Very dangerous right now and will be all week long.
Thank you very much, Bill.
All right.
All right, well, the gang's all here. Art McFarland back, rested.
Rested indeed.
Ready to go.
Wondering if we shouldn't do a surfing report based on Bill's weather forecast.
We got one coming up.
Okay.
It's not good.
But we got baseball to talk about.
Losing
Mets
crowd.
fans have to be thinking, what do we have to do to catch these guys? Huh? Atlanta Braves are smoking. The Mets are now 3.5 games behind the Braves in the NL East after the Mets lost and the Braves won in extra innings last night. They started without the services of Mike Piazza. He was a late scratch with a sore left shoulder, but he came in the 8th. In the bottom of the first, Luis Gonzalez, a fly ball to left center. It's a routine catch, but Ricky Henderson and Darrell Hamilton a bit too polite to one another, and that turns into a ground rule double. Arizona had a 1-0 lead. Next batter, Matt Williams, and he rips a double down the left field line. Bell and Gonzalez both score. Arizona had a 4-0 lead after 1. But the Mets countered with 3 in the bottom of the second. Elgato Alfonso doubled off Andy Bennis. Ricky Henderson scored. Lead is cut to 4-3. Now the D-backs got some insurance in the 7th. Luis Gonzalez makes Al Leiter pay for a hanging curveball. Arizona goes on to win it 8-4. As for the Yankees, they beat the Mariners at the stadium yesterday. Before the game, they honored the Little League champs from Japan and the runners-up from Alabama. And then the big leaguers went to work. Mariners drew first blood. Top of the second, Dan Wilson lined Andy Pettit's pitch to left center. Mariners took the early 2-0 lead. The Yankees took a 4-3 lead into the 5th, and then Ricky Leday hit a shot to the deepest part of the stadium. He just missed a home run, and Junior Griffey couldn't come up with it. Bernie Williams scored ahead of Leday, and Leday just kept on running for a rare inside-the-park home run. It's the first inside-the-park job at the stadium since Deion Sanders did it for the Yanks 9 years ago. Yankees win it 10-5. U.S. Open gets underway today in Flushing. Pete Sampras and Lindsay Davenport defending their titles from a year ago. The Liberty will try to win their playoff series with the Sting tonight, and after evening it up last night in the series, before the game at the Garden, a good luck hug from Dick Vitale for Teresa Weatherspoon. It worked. Weatherspoon with 19 on the night helped the Liberty to a 39-29 halftime lead, but Liberty couldn't do anything as they watched Dawn Staley on fire from long distance, giving Charlotte its first lead of the game. But the Liberty scrapped their way back behind Kim Hampton, putting them up 73-70. Sting with one last shot, it didn't go. Liberty wins 74-70 to tie that a best-of-3 series at a game apiece. And finally this morning, who wants to be a millionaire? Well, Bill Evans and the rest of us, and Tiger Woods doesn't need a quiz show to do it. He just needs a golf tournament. Woods carried a 5-shot lead into the final round of the NEC Invitational in Akron. Held off Phil Mickelson for a 1-stroke win and a payday of $1 million. That's sports this morning.
$4 million on this season.
How about it?
Yeah, I'll take it. Thank you, Art.
Guys, it's now about 5:45, and just ahead on this Monday edition of Eyewitness News this morning, hundreds marched into Central Park for a good cause, ending a long hike, but they've still got miles to go before reaching their goal.
And coming up, special prayers at St. Patrick's Cathedral as health problems keep Cardinal O'Connor away from the pulpit. Stay with us.
Have you seen this child? ABC 7 urges you to protect our children.
Roseanne and I arm wrestle for big money bet. But will she ever pay up? And multi-million-dollar lottery winners.
I want her to give me some.
Would you share the wealth? Next, Oprah.
Today at 4 right here on ABC 7.
Oh, my knowledge has served me well. I knew precisely how to order a latte in Seattle, and I escaped Karachi before the monsoon season. Or was I watching the Travel Channel?
If you want important insider travel tips, watch the Travel Channel, now available on Time Warner Cable's Metro Choice.
Break away with the Travel Channel.
Oh yes, TV is the thing this year. TV is the thing this year. If you want to have fun, come home with me. You can stay all night and play with my TV. TV is the thing this year. Oh yes. Trying to tell you, TV is the thing this year.
ABC 7 is the thing this year.
Baby.
I feel like I got the best value that I could for the money I spent.
This summer, we're celebrating our best value yet, the Hyundai Accent. The Accent comes with America's best warranty, which includes 10 years, 100,000 miles powertrain protection, 5 years, 60,000 miles bumper-to-bumper coverage, and 5 years unlimited mileage roadside assistance. Get one for just $7,999. So hurry, America's best value summer sale won't last long. During the summer sale, get the Hyundai Accent for just $7,999.
This week, when the bell rings, where does your child go? Which after-school programs make the grade? Plus Cuba Gooding Jr. and Tori Amos live on Good Morning America.
Tonight at 7, right here on ABC 7.
Good morning. It's 5:50 and it's chilly out today, like fall.
Yeah.
There's Joe Nolan.
It is chilly out, but I'll tell you what, we're doing fairly well. We got a couple of things we want to tell you about. First off, though, we're going to show you here out by Newark Airport, everybody rolling along both ways on the New Jersey Turnpike around 14, again, doing extremely well. There's the airport, though, behind it. You know, up and down the East Coast, there's going to be some problems today, I would imagine, with flights. So call your airline for individual flight information. I'm sure it's going to vary greatly destination to destination. So please, again, call your airline. Over here at the complex, the sports complex, doing very well. To the maps we go, though, we can show you a couple of things. First off, if you're on 1 and 9, this is in Elizabeth. There's a bad accident. Excuse me, and as a result, you're going to have some problems there. It is closed in both directions. And then as you start to get out for the West Shore onto the Staten Island Expressway, there's an accident there as well. Alternate side in effect, mass transit, good. I'm Joe Nolan, ABC 7 Eyewitness News.
All right, Joe, thank you very much.
Guys, the high cost of prescription drugs hasn't kept Americans from filling up their medicine chests. According to a pharmacy trade group, we're on our way to filling nearly 3 billion prescriptions this year. That's up 9% over last year. Pharmacists attribute the rise to an aging population and a new array of drugs available, including an advanced sleeping pill, a flu fighter, a fat blocker, and a morning after pill, not to mention Viagra.
Some big steps in the battle against breast cancer. More than 2,000 women and men entered Central Park for the final leg of their 3-day, 55-mile walk. They began their trek at Bear Mountain, went through Rockland County, and slept in tents along the way. The event raised nearly $4 million for breast cancer education programs. They're to be commended for their dedication.
Certainly so. Dollars and cents in the workplace. Time now, 5:51. Just ahead, find out who is cashing in on the strong economy and who is left holding the bag.
And who is cashing in on Friday in the markets? There's David Havenreffer.
Well, David, the stock market did take a bit of a dip in Friday's session thanks to some comments by Fed Chairman Alan Greenspan. We'll have a preview of what to expect today, plus a strike narrowly averted at Boeing. Details coming up after the break. First, though, a peek at your favorite stocks and how they fared in Friday's session. A down day for AT&T. We're back in a moment.
The Reuters Business Report is brought to you by your Toyota dealers. Toyota every day.
Oh, car trouble. What's the score?
No score. You don't drive a Toyota, do you?
How'd you know?
Because you can count on a Toyota. Watch. You're looking at Toyota quality and reliability. It's made Camry the #1 selling car in America. Ooh, and with 1,000 in option discounts, your Toyota dealer makes Camry so easy to get into.
Great.
Uh-oh, penalty kick.
Who's the new goalie?
That's my niece. Pretty good, huh?
Subway says they're bigger than a fast food burger. Big deal. Compared to Blimpie, Subway is a big loser. In fact, a Blimpie sub is a lot bigger than Subway. Bigger portions of freshly sliced meats and cheeses topped off the Blimpie way. Blimpie. Big size, big taste, big value. Get a Blimpie Best Value meal as low as $3.99. That's a regular Blimpie Best medium soda and chips as low as $3.99.
When you call LoanWorks for a home loan, you'll work directly with a decision maker from start to finish, which means you won't need to deal with lots of layers, because we all know how frustrating that can be. We're LoanWorks, a home lender on a mission. Bureaucracy, beware.
This week, when the bell rings, where does your child go? Which after-school programs make the grade? Plus Cuba Gooding Jr. and Tori Amos live on Good Morning America.
Today at 5 on Eyewitness News. Shopping the internet drugstores can be safe and convenient if you know what to watch for. 7's on your side with important news you should know before you buy prescription drugs online. Also at 5, is your cholesterol test telling your doctor everything he needs to know? 7's on call with a new way to listen to what your body is saying about your health. And out of the ashes, we're in Poland as a Jewish congregation from our area returns the holy symbol of their faith to Auschwitz. On Eyewitness News today at 5, right here on ABC 7.
Good morning, everyone. 5:54. You're looking at a live picture of Long Beach here, where the waters are rather choppy. In fact, quite dangerous. There are riptides, all the effects of Hurricane Dennis. So we are feeling it here, and you're advised to be careful. In fact, some beaches were closed over the weekend.
And we'll have the latest on Dennis coming up.
A new report by a pair of liberal think tanks says the nation's rosy economy is really paying off for top corporate executives. Since 1990, raises for American factory workers have just managed to stay ahead of inflation, but compensation for the highest level corporate executives has more than quadrupled. Imbalance.
The haves and the have-nots.
And the half-and-reffers.
Let's check in with the half-and-reffer down on Wall Street for business news. David.
Well, thankfully, things are looking somewhat strong on this Monday morning in the S&P Futures Department. It looks like we could be off if these numbers hold. To a higher start for the day today after that down day in Friday's session. One news item here of note, the buyout firm of Forstmann Little, which is based here in New York City, is making its biggest foray yet into the telecommunications industry. The Wall Street Journal reporting today that the company is set to invest $1 billion into the telephone carrier McLeod USA. Now, in exchange, Forstmann Little will get a 12% stake in the company, which competes in western and midwestern states against U.S. West and Ameritech. In Friday's market action, Alan Greenspan set off a strong wave of selling on Wall Street. The Dow falling 108 points after remarks by the Fed chief triggered fears that the Fed may be mulling another interest rate hike. Aerospace giant Boeing may have narrowly averted a strike this weekend. Boeing machinists were ready to walk unless the company offered more pay and better work schedules. But over the weekend, the plane maker and its largest union reached a tentative agreement on a new 3-year contract. The pact still needs to be ratified by the union's 44,000 Boeing members. That happens on Wednesday. A look at the final numbers now. The Dow slipped further from its recent highs, ending the week at 11,090. The S&P 500 index dropping about 13 points in the day. The tech-heavy Nasdaq down more than 15. In the Asian markets overnight, a strong start to the week. A wave of bargain hunting in Tokyo sent the Nikkei index higher by 1.8%. In Hong Kong, the Hang Seng index jumped more than 2.25% in the session. Again, S&P futures are now pointing to a higher open for us in today's session. We are live at the American Stock Exchange. I'm Reuters reporter David Haffenrever, ABC 7 Eyewitness News.
Love the optimism. Thank you, David.
You bet.
We're closing in on 6 o'clock, and just ahead on this Monday morning edition of Eyewitness News. It could be a hit or miss as Hurricane Dennis remains within striking distance of the Carolinas. We've got the latest.
A robbery attempt turns deadly in Brooklyn after an accident involving the getaway car.
And catch a break on back-to-school shopping with tax-free week just days away. We've got the details and much more coming up for you on Eyewitness News.
Roseanne and I arm wrestle for big money bet. But will she ever pay up? And multi-million-dollar lottery winners.
I want her to give me some.
Would you share the wealth? Next Oprah. Today at 4 right here on ABC 7.
When you have a store that sells many of the same designer suits as department stores, but for 20 to 30% less, people will find you, especially if you show the locations. The Men's Warehouse. You're going to like the way you look. I guarantee it.
Now, from Sesame Place, it's the Super Groverific adventure of Vapor Trail! Oops! Sorry! Join Super Grover on this supersonic family coaster, blasting into orbit, cruising at warp speed, then plunging back to Earth. Plunging? And it's a super way to dry off after Sky Splash. Especially if you are furry. It's Vapor Trail, our first ever coaster. So now get wet, get wild, and get vaporized at Sesame Place.
It's payback time. The power has shifted. The 99 Honda clearance is here. Now you're in control. The 99 Honda clearance. Don't you just love it when you win?
You're watching ABC 7, New York. This is the news leader, ABC 7 Eyewitness News.
Taking a look at the stories making headlines on this Monday, August 30th. Organizers for the Million Youth March are scheduled to be in court today. They want a permit to hold the event slated for next week. Mayor Giuliani says no.
Hurricane Dennis is making an appearance along the East Coast. Rain and wind have already hit the Carolinas, but there's still no indication if Dennis will hit land.
And former Jet Mark Gastineau has been arrested again, this time for allegedly burning a woman with a cigarette lighter.
Good morning, everyone. I'm Nancy Lou.
And I'm David Ushery. We're glad you're with us on this Monday morning.
We know a lot of you getting ready for work, whatever at this hour, deciding what to wear. Let's go to Bill Evans in the Weather Center for a look at the forecast. Bill.
Well, Nancy, David might want to grab a sweater this morning. A little bit on the chilly side and windy as well. Winds are out of the east at 10, gusting up to 18. Temperatures mostly like 48 in Monticello to 66 down the shore, 60 on the island, 59 degrees at coastal Connecticut. Today we expect to have sunshine all day long. It will be windy. Will be 64 degrees by 8 o'clock, 70 by noon, and the afternoon high should hit 75 today. That's about 5-6 degrees below normal for this time of the year, and with the wind, it's still going to feel a little bit on the old chilly side. Going to have a fall feel to the weather. This is Hurricane Dennis. It's still moving to the north-northeast at about 12 miles per hour. Its winds are still at 100 miles per hour. Hurricane warnings are in effect for the South Carolina and North Carolina coast. The eye is about 100 miles to the south-southeast of Cape Hatteras, and is expected to move by the Outer Banks later on today. This is a live picture from Long Beach on Long Island. It is a morning where you can see the surf is up in the northeast, and expect that surf to continue building, as a matter of fact, through the afternoon. If you've got to make a living on the ocean or the seas today, the winds will be northeast up to 30 knots. The winds are going to continue to be increasing the waves up to 6 to 8 feet later on this afternoon. We'll talk more about this storm and how it's going to affect our weather later in the week in the body of the AccuWeather forecast. David, Nancy, back downstairs to you.
Thank you very much, Bill. In the news this morning, the war of words over this year's Million Youth March heads back to court today. Organizer Khalid Muhammad is trying to get a permit for the march planned for Saturday in Harlem, but the city has said no way. Michelle Charlesworth has the latest. She's live in Lower Manhattan. Good morning, Michelle.
Good morning, Nancy. Well, free speech does not protect threats against people or the government. That's the angle that city attorneys are expected to use against Khalid Muhammad in federal court this morning. 28 people were hurt last year at the end of last year's march, which was permitted only as a rally. And this is the picture of violence you're about to see. the city is expected to leave the judge with and include excerpts from speeches that were given at that march. What happened here Friday was a precursor to what will happen inside federal court today. Attorneys for the march allege that the mayor has a problem with them.
The mayor has a beef, a personal vendetta against Khalid Muhammad. He has a contradiction with young, assertive, Black and Latino people, and he's trying to hide that.
I think before we start, we should get a few things straight, because I think you and everybody else is being flim-flammed by Khalid Muhammad, who is a pathetic figure trying to get some attention.
Now, last year's march was permitted only as a rally, a matter of semantics, and only for 4 hours within 6 blocks on Malcolm X Boulevard. We'll see what happens in court today. We're live in Lower Manhattan. Michelle Charlesworth, ABC 7 Eyewitness News.
Michelle, thank you very much. The other big story today up and down the East Coast, Hurricane Dennis. It's closing in on the Carolina coast, but it's still not clear how brutal he may be. It's already raining hard and blowing winds now up to 50 miles an hour as you look at a live picture here from Long Beach, where you can see it's churning up our local waters. Along the shores of North Carolina, it is really dicey, but forecasters say Dennis may not strike land head-on. Farther south in Myrtle Beach, South Carolina, people are not taking any chances, boarding up houses and businesses, in some areas evacuating. And once again, it is being felt in our area. The waters of the beaches particularly dangerous, and some beaches have been closed to keep bathers out because of fear of riptides.
Former New York Jet Mark Gastineau is in legal trouble again. This time, he is charged with assaulting his girlfriend. The ex-defensive end is accused of burning the woman with a cigarette lighter. Police arrested Gastineau at his girlfriend's home in the Jamaica Estates after her parents called police. Just 2 months ago, Gastineau was sentenced to 15 days in jail for violating a protection order obtained by his estranged wife. In downtown Brooklyn, a deadly getaway attempt by a car thief killed after crashing a stolen SUV. Police say 23-year-old Damon Clymer and an accomplice had robbed a parking garage, hit an attendant with a hammer, stole $50, and then fled in 2 stolen cars. Police are still looking for the other suspect in a stolen 1999 Subaru.
John Cardinal O'Connor celebrated Mass yesterday, as usual, but not at St. Patrick's Cathedral. The Cardinal said Mass at Sloan Kettering Memorial Cancer Center, where he is still undergoing tests. Meanwhile, special prayers were said for his health at every Mass at St. Patrick's yesterday. Cardinal O'Connor was admitted to Sloan Kettering last week after bouts with persistent nausea. Now, his assistants say he's doing fine and should be finished with tests later this week.
And let's get an early look at the commute. Let's go to Joe Nolan in Metro Traffic. Joe.
All right, Nancy. First off, really not all that much going on. We do have one problem in Elizabeth. John's going to show you in a second. But on the West Shore northbound at the Staten Island Expressway, there's an accident there on that ramp structure. Hopefully that'll be out of the way. Then we just got word inbound on the Gowanus, right around the bell to disable one lane going to be out of service there. And then here, out on Long Island, still doing very well. Southern State Parkway, both directions, no problem. Same thing. Well, that was a Kew Gardens interchange. They just moved the camera on me. But the Kew Gardens interchange is in good shape. There's the Tennis Center, Shea Stadium off there in the distance. And you know what? While it's here, I might as well remind you that the U.S. Open begins. And once that happens, of course, there'll be all kinds of traffic problems, all kinds of problems during the day and at night when the U.S. Open is letting in and out, and of course when the Mets are playing at home too. And alternate side of the street parking rules are in effect today in all 5 boroughs. Now, John Del Giorno is over routes 1 and 9 in Elizabeth.
Good morning, Joe. We have a little bit of good news down here. We'll take you outside. These are the remnants of an accident here just south of Newark Airport. Just as soon as about 15 minutes ago, Route 1 and 9 was shut down in both directions down here. We're just south of North Avenue. You can see the police department and tow truck. They've gotten those cars off the roadway. A little bit of glass still out in the road and a very minor fuel spill. That's been cleaned up as well. So if you're traveling Route 1 and 9, either direction, just to the south of Newark, especially if you have to make a flight over at Newark Airport, looks like smooth sailing right now. The roadway's been reopened in both directions and traffic is moving at the speed limit. I'm John Del Giorno, ABC 7 Eyewitness News.
Thank you, John and Joe.
Flames racing out of control. 6:06 right now. Coming up on Eyewitness News this morning, brush fires out west are taking a deadly turn.
Also ahead, time is money, and find out who is spending the most of both on the internet. Stay with us.
You're watching the news leader, ABC 7 Eyewitness News, with Nancy Liu, David Ushery, Art McFarland with sports, Bill Evans with the AccuWeather forecast, and the Eyewitness News team.
ABC 7 in the morning.
America's broadcasting company, where family values
Yeah, baby.
and freedom of speech
Just because my mouth is open?
are embraced. It's the American way.
I like that.
ABC 7 in the morning, with Live at 9, Rosie at 10, and The View at 11. More fun, more stars, more laughs. ABC 7 in the morning. Today, right here on ABC 7.
Right now, see more trucks than an all-night diner. During the GMC Summer Convoy, pickups, SUVs, and family vans. 2 million tons of professional-grade trucks designed better than they need to be. Like the GMC Jimmy, an SUV built with a backbone, a full-length steel frame, and a smooth, comfortable ride. Lease a '99 Jimmy for $299 a month. Call for lease details. This is one convoy you don't want passing you by.
So, you folks want a boy or a girl? Well, I know he wants a boy.
I love girls. Ballet classes. The frilly dresses.
You'd be a great dad.
Yeah, I could still play soccer with her, you know.
Would you like to know what it is?
It really doesn't matter to me.
PSEG, we make things work for you.
Oh, the world is my oyster. In Nepal, I uncovered an ancient temple. Dinner in the Big Apple was magnificent. Or was I watching the Travel Channel?
For heart-stopping adventure, romantic getaways, and insider travel tips, watch the Travel Channel. Now available on Time Warner Cable's Metro Choice.
Break away with the Travel Channel.
Right now, a lot of the merchandise at Linens and Things has been significantly reduced. Get 25 to 70% off items all over the store at our huge clearance sale going on now.
Good morning, everyone. It is 6:09. Hurricane Dennis to the east, hundreds of brush fires to the west. In California, a firefighter died while battling the flames north of Santa Barbara. Shifting winds are helping to feed the fires. Emergency teams are struggling to get control over fires in California, Oregon, Texas, and Idaho.
Hurricane Dennis already being felt in the Carolinas and also making for dangerous waters in our area.
Yeah, we're going to see dangerous riptides, high surf once again. The seas out in the Atlantic 6 to 8 feet. So, you know, for all our fishermen who get up and start to work today, it's going to be rough out there. Even the Sound is going to have 2 to 3 foot seas. That's a little more protected. But you can see from our live picture here in Long Beach this morning, the surf's up. Boy, the surfers really ran to the beach this weekend. The beaches will be closed. Other than doing a little waiting, that's going to be about it. And, you know, this is really the last week of vacation before school starts next week. So we'll still see effects from that storm all week long. And I'll show you where it's going to go this morning. All right, there you go. That's our picture from Long Beach this morning, and it's 61 degrees right now. Humidity is high. Oh, it's kind of in the moderate range, I should say. 62% is not bad, actually. That will even dry out more today. We've got a rising barometer because high pressure working its way in across the northeast, and the winds are east at 10, gusting up to 18, and the sun is up this morning. Official sunrise is at 6:20. All right, here's what's going on with Hurricane Dennis. The winds are 100 miles per hour. And first off, I'll show you these temperatures. For 48 at Monticello to 61 at JFK. It feels really nice outside. And with that east wind coming in, it's an easterly fetch today. So it's going to feel cool all day long. And it's going to feel really nice. A very fall-like feel to the weather today. And we should have great weather for about the next 3 days. But now here is Dennis spiraling north-northeastward. And this was the forecast track we were talking about all last week. That the storm would come in near the Florida coast, curve around the Carolina coast, and head back out to sea. However, we always watch the steering currents with these storms. First off, we're seeing a big ridge of high pressure building in and holding the system down to the south. Eventually, that ridge of high pressure will pass by with an associated trough. Normally, a trough is like a ditch. The hurricane would run into the trough and carry it out to sea. But what we're seeing is probably the trough will run by. The hurricane will have a chance to meander northeastward out here, give us clouds and rain later in the week, Thursday, Friday, and Saturday, as it moves on out into the Atlantic slowly. what we would be seeing today, starting later in the week, had it not been for the system, would be a heat wave. There's a big ridge, a Bermuda high that is building out here. This bubble of cool high would go by, and then the warm winds would come back out of the south, and we'd see temperatures by 90 on Wednesday. But what we're seeing is this nice fall feel of cool, dry air coming in across the northeast, and of course it is suppressing everything but high clouds off of the system in the Carolinas. So if you have to travel to North or South Carolina today, you probably want to put those travel plans off. Southern sections of Maryland now and Delaware are getting some effects of that system, some light scattered showers, windy conditions, and expect the winds on the coast today to be about 40 miles per hour. Now across the rest of the country, showers in the Dakotas, all the way into Minneapolis, St. Paul, some thunderstorms now in Kansas. We'll be moving into St. Louis later today. The west coast is looking great, lots of sunshine. There were a few little leftover showers overnight from the monsoonal flow, but that will be just about it. So here is the boating forecast, the marine forecast. It's going to be very, very windy. Winds northeast 25 to 30 knots. That's about a 40-mile-per-hour wind. Small craft advisories in effect. The water temperature 76 degrees, so it is warm. The ocean 6 to 8. The sound 2 to 3.